Atlanta, Brian, thank you. Welcome to Athens, Georgia, where Kudzu Hill was a frat party yesterday for the game of the weekend in college baseball, and now it's game 2 in this best of 3. This feels like the biggest super regional with 2 teams you feel like could genuinely win a national championship, but only one will move on and one will go home for the summer. Georgia is the road team here in Game 2, though we're in Athens, and they've got the best offense in the SEC, 4th best in the country, and they get back Trey Phelps today.
They do, and what they get is a player that gives you power at the top of the lineup without sacrificing contact, advanced level, knowing and understanding that strike zone.
They're all going to face Ryan McPherson. And Ben, you said this was their Friday starter to begin the season before the forearm strain.
Absolutely. He was the ace of their staff. He's making his 10th start of the year. But look at the ERA, 2.81. And what I love about him, how about the strikeout-to-walk ratio? 5-to-1 strikeout-to-walk ratio. He's got that big arm at the top of the zone with a curveball behind it. Be a big challenge for him today against this Georgia offense.
And listen to this for Trey Phelps. 8 days ago, he took a very famous home run trot around the bases, got ejected from that regional final here in Athens, and therefore was suspended for the next game. That's the NCAA rule. So he was out for Game 1, returns for Game 2.
Well, his replacement did pretty well yesterday in O'Shaughnessy, right? I mean, who saw that coming?
2 home runs for Michael O'Shaughnessy. Both of them left on left. And no surprise, Michael O'Shaughnessy gonna stick around in the starting lineup for Wes Johnson. 3-0 to start on Phelps.
And immediately he goes to the off-speed pitch, 2-0. Respect for Phelps. And it shows also Phelps' control of understanding and picking up a pitch immediately on the fastball count.
4-pitch walk. So Trey Phelps is on to start Game 2.
Now, Georgia's not a big stolen base team. They only have 70 bags on the year. But when they run, they're very successful. 70 for 76. Trey Phelps is 8 for 8 in stolen bases, so he gives you a little bit of wheels over at first base.
He's aboard for the Golden Spikes Award candidate. Certainly among the top 5 candidates. Daniel Jackson, second-year dog after he started his career at Wofford. Native of Sandy Springs, Georgia. Got up to 30 home runs with one of the many home runs we saw yesterday. We were just about taking submissions for home run calls up here in the booth.
11 long balls combined yesterday.
Hot shot on the ground to third, and Ace Reese sliding on the turf. Long throw gets past Reed Stallman. Phelps to third. Georgia in business.
We've had this conversation way before the game, and Ben, you were the first one to acknowledge it. See that slide right there in the backhand? He continues to slide, and because of it, he doesn't have a really good foundation to be able to throw the ball. Right there, trying to get up, that right leg goes up in the air. Now he has to rush the throw, and when you have a speedy catcher going down the line, that's exactly what happens, continuing to put pressure on the defense.
You know, it's weird, these turf fields. I mean, and base runners will tell you, they almost have to start their slide maybe a step sooner than what they typically would, because you can slide right past the base right here. But we've seen a few infielders slip on this turf as well.
And so 2 on right out of the gates for the 3-hitter for Georgia, the center fielder, Rylan Lujo. Not the start Ryan McPherson envisioned.
No, but this is what you call the first inning blues a little bit. But the idea for McPherson here is to not give up a crooked number. Okay to give up 1. Look, there's going to be some points put on the scoreboard like it was yesterday. So if he can get out of this inning and only give up 1 run, that's the ideal right now.
And on the hands of Lujo and in the air to left. Vitas Valencius backs up. Should be deep enough. Trey Phelps will tag and score without a throw. And Georgia strikes first.
I don't think 1 run's going to do it, and you're absolutely right, especially with what we have witnessed here in the last 24 hours. But the one thing is get on the board. That's why you can't give away outs. You cannot walk guys in a ball court like this. Yesterday they limited the walks, and there were still 25 runs scored against both of them.
Limit the walks, and for both of these teams, because we have two explosive offenses, is you got to be able to make the routine plays. You give these two offenses extra opportunities and make errors, it's going to come back to haunt you.
Well, here's yesterday's hero, Michael O'Shaughnessy. 2 home runs yesterday. 2-run homer in the 5th that at that time tied the game 7-7. And then the go-ahead 3-run homer in the 8th to snatch the lead, all for a guy who had been just sitting there with, at the time, 18 home runs. He had gone through a stretch at the SEC tournament where he had punched out in 5 consecutive plate appearances. So the guy who had been their 3-hole hitter was out of the lineup and only back into it because Trey Phelps got tossed 8 days ago.
That's what was impressive for me. Both of his home runs came when Georgia was down. The first one, a 2-run shot, tied it. Of course, the 3-run shot put him ahead.
Runner goes, and the throw is not in time to get Daniel Jackson, who's got another bag as he creeps closer to 30-30.
It's elite. And you can have a catcher that can hit for power, also hit for average, and do this. Great jump. He stole that one, not off Maliski. He stole that one straight off McPherson.
How about that? 26 now for 28 for Daniel Jackson in stolen bases.
That's a strike, top of the zone from Ryan McPherson.
Georgia yesterday 3 for 10 runners in scoring position, and for the season they come in hitting .326 in these situations.
With Jackson at second. 2-1. Roped into right field on a line, and that'll drop in front of Jacob Parker. Parker gets it in quickly. Jackson waited on it, and they're at the corners again for Georgia.
Pretty nice move to the ball right there. And that looked like the first kick change. Now, Ryan McPherson's going to throw what we call a kick change. And watch where this ball's left. It's left up right out over the heart of the plate and barreled up. Daniel Jackson's not quite sure this ball's going to get called or not with 1 out. So he kind of hangs up, not able to score, but first and third again for Georgia, just 1 out.
Nice play by Jacob Parker to be able to read that and not try to go for it. It could have been disastrous with maybe a runner at third base and one down and scored. Playing the read, understanding the bounce, taking a step back, and limiting damage in the outfield.
Well, trouble out of the gates right away for Brian O'Connor's starter, Ryan McPherson. Brian O'Connor had said to us the other day, he feels like this is the best his team has been all season because Ryan McPherson is back and healthy. And in the words of Ryan McPherson, knocked off the rust with his 5 innings on 83 pitches last weekend in the Starkville Regional. But here's Kenny Ishikawa, who, Eduardo, you spent some time with pregame. What did you learn about Kenny?
Well, he started at the University of Asia in Tokyo, and it's a breeding ground for a lot of baseball players in the Nippon Professional League. Then decides to go to the Western Baseball League, a huge league. A lot of players from the West Coast have played their summer ball and gets discovered. Discovered by Seattle University. Then goes into the portal, ends up in Georgia, and now we just see him do the Soto shuffle a little bit right there on the tape.
Seattle University, home of Tarek Skubal.
How about that? Also played in the Western Baseball League.
Tarek Skubal's only offer, Seattle.
And so was Ishikawa.
I would say about 300 other Division I teams missed on him just a little bit.
Year 1 for Kenny Ishikawa in Athens. At the corners, still 1 out, 2-1. That's up high, so 3-1 from McPherson, not Chris Burley.
Yeah, I mean, and this is very typical. Again, for me, the first inning was always the most difficult because you cannot create this adrenaline flow that you get when you step over the game out in the bullpen. And what you thought you had in the bullpen doesn't necessarily translate to the game out. And so the first innings are always the toughest for me for starting pitchers.
Grabs a strike to run it full on Ishikawa.
Is it too late to ask you guys if you guys buckled up for this one?
Well, there's not going to be runs today. There's going to be points, I have a feeling, on the scoreboard.
Strap in after yesterday.
Buckle up is right.
31 hits yesterday, 11 home runs. 3-2. And Big Ben is so caffeinated today, thanks to Eduardo, that there better be offense.
I mean, I don't know if you could bring a bigger cup of coffee. And look, I appreciate it. I do. But it's like, I mean, that's the largest cup of coffee I've ever seen.
It's 4 shots in there, buddy.
Is it really?
And I felt like he put a little extra in it for me.
A little honey.
McPherson checks at first on O'Shaughnessy.
What we're seeing from McPherson is what we thought we'd see as a big arm, right? I mean, that fastball's already been up to 98, and he loves to pitch right at the top quadrant of the strike zone because it sets up his best off-speed pitch, which is his curveball. And his curveball's a good one. The opponent's only hit 138 off that, but right now he is just struggling a little bit with command.
3-2 again.
And this is a tough guy to strike out, right? When you get and look at Kenny Ishikawa's numbers, only 6.7% strikeout rate. He's going to keep fouling off tough pitches. He's going to take his time, get a little stick on there and put a little spray. But he's going to use line to line. If you throw something soft and to stay up, he'll most likely pull it towards the right field line. But if you throw him a hard fastball down and away, he might take it to the left field.
Wes Johnson said it to us the other day. This kid is so hard to strike out. 8th pitch of the plate appearance. And Ishikawa resists with some Soto flair. And they're loaded for Georgia.
Right, McPherson, yeah, he went to that kick change, thought he'd get a swing and miss, but it fell just below the bottom of the zone.
Those are the guys that get your pitch count up, that make you forget about pretty much the next hitter, and that's the one thing, and that's the reason why you see the mound visit. 20 pitches already into this game and only 1 out.
Wes Johnson, the head coach of Georgia, 1 win away from Omaha. It's year 3 for him here as the head coach. The first 2 years, the number 7 national seed in each season. This year, the number 3 national seed. And with UCLA and Georgia Tech, 1 and 2 knocked out last weekend. Georgia, as we said, the highest ranked team remaining. They've had Athens rocking for 3 years. They're trying to get to Omaha for the first time since Gordon Beckham and company were there in 08. Brian O'Connor on the other side. He said after the game yesterday, just an incredible college baseball game, but he said no one in their bullpen could really keep Georgia's offense down for more than an inning at a time. 20 pitches in, still only 1 out, and only 1 run in. Now Ryan Wynn, the second baseman. First pitch swinging on 97.
And that's going to be the key for McPherson and Aoki, too, is can you throw strike one? Can you get ahead and put the hitters on the defense right away? These offenses are explosive. I mean, you talk about 2 of the best offenses in the game. And you look at home runs, 170 for Georgia, and Mississippi State's got 123, so both of them top 5 in the country.
The scary part for Brian O'Connor is that Georgia is now hitting first time through the order. They have struggled throughout the regionals, hitting the lowest team right now in super regionals, first time, 1 through 9. Now, putting pressure, it's going to be a different beast now for them.
0-2. Nearly hit Ryan Wynn. Well, and yesterday, that's what we saw. That Tomas Valinkis, the great starter for Mississippi State, was good first time through, and then Brian O'Connor said to all of us down on the field pregame that he hadn't really seen an offense handle Valinkis the way Georgia did the second time through. Wynn cues one off the end of the bat. Slowly it's Stallman, so the only play is first for out number 2. And Daniel Jackson scores to make it 2-zip Georgia.
And 2 outs that have been made already in this game have been productive outs that have driven in runs. Georgia putting the ball in play, even if it wasn't hit hard, they've become fundamental good outs for Wes Johnson and his team.
And I don't think 2's going to win it either today. Do we agree on that?
No, but this is big for McPherson. He's given up 2. Can you get out of this inning with only giving up 2?
It's a season high in first inning pitches for him as he faces the 7-man Brennan Hudson, taking a mighty cut on 97.
Starting to dial in that command a little bit.
Hudson entered the weekend. You see that OPS on the right of his stats. Second on the team in that category and 5th in the SEC. 2 years at Georgia State to start his career, and now year 2 here in Athens.
All right, I like this command now. Fastball away, fastball in, both of them elevated. Kevin Maluski behind home plate for Mississippi State. He's got to be big. If he gets that breaking ball in the dirt, he's got to be able to body it up and keep it in front.
0-2. Up the ladder again, and now does it set up one of those in the dirt?
I think so. 3 in a row up top. You would think something off speed's coming. Now, does he trust the curveball? He hadn't really thrown many good curveballs yet. He's thrown the kick change a couple of times. It feels like if he can start that curveball about middle of the plate and have it just break below the zone, he may get that swing and a miss that he's looking for.
0-2 again. Brian O'Connor told us the other day that Ryan McPherson loves to throw his breaking balls at any time, in any count, and after 4 straight fastballs, does he unleash one here?
He's certainly got him set up for something off speed.
1-2. Gas again. Who needs the spinners when you got that for Ryan McPherson to strand a couple aboard? But 2 on the board for Georgia in the top of the first. Athens, Georgia, rocking yesterday with Georgia fans, of course, here at Foley Field, and a very good turnout of maroon and white in this ballpark, too, for what was a crazy one yesterday. Mississippi State led 7-0 in the 4th before Georgia scored 9 straight. So let's see what Mississippi State's offense can do. Like Georgia, a top 8 offense in the country, and Ace Reese is rolling right now.
Yeah, you have Ace Reese, who's going to be hitting in the 2 spot. Look, he mashes pitches that are breaking pitches. This year, 8 home runs, 14 extra base hits, an OPS of 1,100 plus on that one. So look for him to look for the pitch up and absolutely tattoo it like he did yesterday.
There is Caden Aoki, 5th-year senior, making his 19th appearance, his 8th start of the year. He's been using a lot of different roles by Wes Johnson. He's been a starter, he's been a closer, he's got some saves under his belt, he's been a middle guy as well. Boy, he's going to lean hard on the all-speed pitches, guys. He only throws about 28% fastballs. That's it. And it's not a high-velocity heater at all. I mean, it's going to be right there in that 88 to 92 range. But you talk about the curveball, the changeup, and the slider. All of those pitches are the key for him because they have way above average whiff rates. So for me, for Mississippi State, it's about trying to hit the fastball to the backside of the field and save some bat for the off-speed pitches because they're going to get plenty of off-speed pitches today.
Garrett Fry leads off for Mississippi State, the veteran second baseman, 23-year-old who started his career at North Alabama. Caden Aoki's first pitch is 91 in for strike 1.
In game of adjustments, Mississippi State has already seen Aoki go for 20 at-bats this year during the regular season. And what do the Mississippi State hitters do? They move up on the plate towards Aoki to try to eliminate some of the break of that curveball and the changeup.
And the numbers say that, as Ben told you, Caden Aoki leans hard on the off-speed pitches. Check out the usage for Aoki this year.
Yeah, that tells you about all you need to know right there. And again, the fastballs are pretty good. When you set off speed on him, he's got enough to get it by you. So I think that's got to be the approach. Backside with the fastballs, enough bat left for the off-speed pitches.
See that run right there on that 90-mile-per-hour two-seamer.
He's got a 2 and a 4-seamer, so he'll grab the 4-seamer every now and then, and he'll go top shelf with it, and then he'll grab that 2-seamer and be able to pitch to both quadrants of the strike zone, both up and down with it.
Garrett Fry yesterday had a solo home run in the 6th inning that he crushed 400-plus feet. Another 0-2, spiked by Aoki, who, of course, works in tandem with Wes Johnson. Wes Johnson said to us the other day about Caden Aoki, it's like Nintendo calling pitches for Caden Aoki. I mean, he can do whatever he wants in any count with those off-speed pitches.
He's a box of chocolates.
Yeah. He's not a thrower, right? He is a pitcher. He is actually going to pitch. He's going to pitch backwards. He'll throw the off-speed stuff in fastball counts. He'll move the ball around.
This is a broken bat. Floater into left. Phelps out, and it lands foul as Garrett Fry got sawed off with the aluminum.
Hit it right off the end of the bat.
Yeah, you don't see that very often. We saw one of these at Chapel Hill Regional last weekend. We saw aluminum bat explode as well. So that's 2 in 2 weekends. That doesn't happen every day. Watch this. 2-seam fastball working away from him. He gets it right off the end of the bat. It's almost like it's wood. It just comes apart.
Ben, what are we doing? Because we saw that, you're right, in Chapel Hill.
And the interesting thing is, if you're in pro ball, yes, you always have extra wood bats. This is a bat that most likely he's been using the entire year. So now you have to go to your foreign bat right now. It's different.
You want a bat that's been broken in. I mean, that's what all that. If you'll watch, it's a lot of old bats that come to home plate because they're broken in a lot of ways, so you get a little bit more of a trampoline effect off the bat hand.
This one is just quick foul by Garrett Fry.
Yeah, that's when you're living right there. If you are hitting a $180 under the Mendoza line,
it doesn't happen?
No. Right there, Mr. Jackson makes that play.
But when you're going good?
When you're going good, it's exactly, he gets another line. It gets another pitch.
I promise you there's a few guys in the Mississippi State dugout. Happy for Garrett, but saying, come on, can I get some of that? Good plate appearance to start from Garrett Fry. 7th pitch. Popped up. Short left center. Colby Branch, the shortstop, backs up, and the senior puts it away for the first out for Caden Aoki. Wes Johnson calls Caden Aoki Doc because he says he's got a doctor's precision on the mound, and there's a ton of personality from this kid, too. Could be a lot of fun to watch on the bump.
Well, he arguably had his best start of the year his last time out, and that was against Liberty right here in Athens in their regional. Went 6 innings, only gave up 1 run, walked 1, and struck out a season-high 11.
Aoki gets Ace Reese, third baseman in the 2 spot, and the projected first rounder. And Kylie McDaniel has 21st on his MLB draft rankings.
How about the swing he had yesterday? 3-0 count. He got the green light, and I mean straight away center field. His 23rd long ball of the year.
That was to lead off the 8th inning and give Mississippi State the lead at the time. Reese later added a rocket double at 111, but this was the big fly.
Yeah, 3-0 count, sitting heater. Boy, he got one, and I mean off the batter's eye, straight away center field. Remember, he's only the 3rd Mississippi State Bulldog to have back-to-back 20-plus home run seasons. Joins Thunder and Lightning as the only 3 to do it.
Aoki pumps one by him with 90. Now, Ben, as you said, it's up to 92 this year for Caden Aoki. But it is up with the velo compared to what he was at Southern Cal. And Caden Aoki had said going into the year he doesn't want to see any 8s on the radar gun. A pretty firm fastball velo in that big start last weekend. In the air and shallow left center again. Branch puts another away and 2 pop outs to the Georgia shortstop to start for Caden Aoki.
Yeah, Aoki looks dialed in right now. I'm just watching Daniel Jackson, the Georgia catcher, where he's setting up and how close that ball is coming to his glove. And right now he's peppering the glove right where he wants it.
Well, you said it earlier, it's not a thrower. He's a pitcher on that mound, and he lives in beachfront property. Right there, just location. He needs it in order to be able to survive through this lineup.
It's like finding good international travel. You want to be on a yacht in Monaco if you can find your way there.
Or sitting next to Mike Monaco.
Downgrade. Noah Sullivan takes a strike on the curveball bottom of the zone. Noah Sullivan, the Orlando native, first team SEC in year 2 with Mississippi State after 3 years at South Carolina Upstate to start his career. Got hit by pitches twice yesterday and also walked, otherwise 0 for 3. Pops this one up, and this will drift off out of play.
With his action, you're going to see a lot of that, a lot of pop-ups, a lot of fly balls, a lot of weak fly balls, hopefully in this ballpark for him, because we saw the way this ball was flying yesterday. And the guys are caught in between. They know he throws a high percentage of breaking pitches, but having a 2-0 lead, you might see more of the hard stuff.
Caden Aoki's 0-2. Just because you have the lead and make sure you're pounding the zone.
In your head. Once he's ahead, he can play with them because he has faced them already twice, both as a reliever. This time he comes in as a starter, and he has more in his arsenal that he can go with.
Another 0-2. And Sullivan lays off.
That was a really good pitch and even a better take, too. That's where we want to get with 2 strikes, especially 0-2 counts, is make a hitter, throw something close enough where you actually make a hitter make a decision, a real decision whether he wants to swing or not. And that was a nice job by Aoki. Breaking ball just fell off the outside edge.
1-2. Sullivan takes that also with the changeup.
And he's hoping for that call, and if he does get that call, that just works in Aoki's favor. Not being able to get it will continue to try to open it up a little bit more.
This is a good offense Mississippi State has, I'm telling you. And they grab a different gear in postseason play. This offense, 6 postseason games, they're averaging 11 runs per game.
And they'll spoil some pitches here.
Don't do that.
On Aoki, what, Trey Phelps with the bare hand?
Yeah, do not do that. Those are just sometimes calls for unnecessary injuries, especially in foul ball. He's having fun out there. He's happy to be out there.
He's just glad to be back.
He's glad to be back, but we all seen already that second bounce on this turf, how quick it can get on you, especially with the heat.
When is Trey Phelps not having fun?
Full of energy. Had a nice conversation during batting practice with him. Couldn't wait to get back out there.
He had to consume game 1 by listening to us. Poor guy.
He probably had enough of us.
7th pitch to Sullivan. Rocket on a line toward the gap in left center, and that will get to the wall. Noah Sullivan with a heck of a plate appearance, and he dives in safely with a 2-out double.
Talk about the professional at-bats, and you get to see a lot of pitches, especially after a long top half of the first. Mississippi State, even if they have not put any runs up, they've already forced Aoki to 18 pitches so far in this inning. Now you put your first runner on base, and he's in scoring position.
Boy, how good was that move? He just kind of went down and put his nose on that fastball, working down and away from him. Speaking of professional, that is a professional mustache that Noah Sullivan has, isn't it? A little handlebar action.
Known as the Mustache Man his last couple seasons. He's at second for Jacob Parker. Freshman from Purvis, Mississippi, SEC all-freshman team who just kept building over the course of his rookie season. Brian O'Connor calls him a special talent. He walked 3 times yesterday and had an RBI single up the middle in the massive 6-run second.
Yeah, but the ability that Jacob has had since fall ball to where he is right now, just seems like Brian O'Connor pressed the button, and 30 seconds later, there was someone there to say, okay, you can hit now. And he has been raking since he's been put in that lineup. Pitch recognition being one of the biggest things for him.
He's out so far in front there on a fastball at 91.
See the body language?
You got to sit back on this guy. You got to sit back and let it travel off Aoki.
Now Aoki can go fastball up out of the zone, or he can double up with a changeup, and this time just make sure it stays down and away out of the zone.
That's going to be a pitch clock violation on Caden Aoki. Mississippi State, 2 batters ago, thought it was very close on Caden Aoki to a pitch clock violation. Ace Reese popped out to short. They didn't get any call there. And then right here, Caden Aoki had it wind down to 0 and didn't deliver. So, it's an automatic ball, and it's 2-2. Parker tried to hold up, and he went around and strikes out. Brian O'Connor's irate out of the first base dugout.
Wow. I got to see this, man. I didn't think he went, guys.
He says there's no blank way you can make that call, and that is as livid as you will ever see Brian O'Connor.
Oh, my goodness.
Boy.
They missed that one. Everybody missed that one.
Wow.
NCAA Baseball Super Regionals are presented by Capital One. What's in your wallet? And apart by Lexus. Experience amazing at your Lexus dealer. Kudzu Hill packed Game 2, best of 3 Super. Georgia 1 win away. Mississippi State trying to stay alive. And very frustrated that Jacob Parker got rung up there on what we thought was certainly him not offering.
And they should be. And they should be. As a hitter, as a head coach, you work your way. That would have been a 3-2 count going in. And a great opportunity, missed opportunity because of a missed call.
Colby Branch leads off 8-9-1, and Branch tags one to the trees. Goodbye.
Well, you might call them trees, but that parking lot over there, I call them Athenian yachts. Beautifully done. Breaking pitch. Yeah. 18th home run of the season for Branch, who yesterday had some missed opportunities and wanted to make it up today, and he does.
Well, watch him just lean on this breaking ball. He sees it hop up right out of the hand, and what a weapon Colby Branch is in the 8 hole for the Georgia Bulldogs. 18 long balls out of the 8 hole now, 57 RBIs, and Georgia up 3-0 early in this one.
Colby Branch fired up. 15 of those 18 have come out of the 8 or 9 spot this season. Incredible.
This is just an offense as a pitcher. You know, normally in a lot of offense, especially in the college game, you get through the first 6 guys, okay, you can kind of make some hay in 7, 8, 9. But this is the length of this offense, man. 1 through 9, they can put runs on the scoreboard.
One thing you cannot do in this ballpark if you are a pitcher is fall behind.
100%.
You fall behind. The way that their swing design for the Georgia Bulldogs is, it's launch. And if you miss it here, you still have a chance to be able to get it out.
And look, McPherson is a fly ball pitcher. He likes to pitch up in the strike zone. And this obviously is not a great fly ball ballpark. But when you get these bottom-to-top swings, and Georgia has a lot of them, that's actually the place you want to attack is in the upper quadrant of the strike zone. There's not a lot of flat bat pass. It's a lot of uppercut with Georgia.
Well, now it's a 5-pitch walk to Ryan Black in the 9th spot, and the 3rd walk issued by Ryan McPherson. Meantime, what a career for Colby Branch. I mean, 4 years of college baseball, the first at Baylor, and then 3 here in Athens. And this guy has piled up home runs in this uniform and keeps pretty good company.
Yeah, Colby Branch isn't a big guy. Physically, he is not a big guy, but there's some real juice in the bat for sure.
Speaking of Gordon Beckham, there he is. Part of the last Georgia Omaha team in 2008. And he's not going to miss this. Part of that team that had Josh Fields on it too, a couple All-Americans and first-rounders. Second time through, this is Trey Phelps, who walked and scored in the first inning.
Yeah, Dave Colonel was the head coach of that 2018. He is in the house today.
Told you, Georgia's trying to make a long-awaited return to Omaha. They've been there 6 times before, including 4 times in 8 years from 2001 to 2008.
Well, we said this yesterday. These are the 2 programs that got the SEC on the map way back in the day. I mean, you talk about Ron Polk, who is here. We get to visit with him every day, and it's such a treat to get to visit with the legend himself, Ron Polk. But it was Polk and Palomero and Clark and Big Penn and Brantley. And of course, Georgia was the first ever team to win a Southeastern Conference, for the Southeastern Conference to win a national championship, and that was back in 1990. So this is kind of where the SEC began. There's Coach Polk.
Ron Polk is a legend.
Yes. The godfather of the SEC.
This comes up and in and hits Trey Phelps on what appeared to be the right hand.
speed pitch. It was 88 miles an hour. It almost looked like a changeup. That kick change that kind of came up and in on Trey Phelps. Well, Ryan O'Connor's got a decision to make right here because Ryan McPherson, if he doesn't settle down, I mean, there is no tomorrow for Mississippi State if they don't win.
If they got to a Game 3 in a perfect world, and if they got a gem from Ryan McPherson, they would go to this guy, Duke Stone, tomorrow. But Brian O'Connor told us on the field pregame that exactly what you just said. There's no tomorrow without today, so he said he would be aggressive in going to Duke Stone.
Yeah, Duke Stone started in Game 1 of a regional. He started in Game 2 of the SEC tournament, so obviously a starter, but can't save him for tomorrow. You got to win the day if you're Mississippi State.
And Georgia's got a chance to really crack it open in the second with Daniel Jackson, the SEC Player of the Year. Infield single to third in the first. Outside the start from Ryan McPherson.
Daniel Jackson is a reverse splits guy, too. I mean, he's hitting .437 off of right-handed pitching this year. An amazing number.
And part of his struggles, in quotes, last year were against lefties, atypically. Well, Ed Harder, you've been talking about times through the order.
Yeah.
This, what, Georgia offense?
And Georgia just makes the adjustment, right? The second time around is where they get better. And we see the numbers there. But today, the first time around the order, they capitalized on it. And now it puts a lot more pressure on McPherson on the mound. It puts a lot more pressure also on Brian O'Connor that has to make a decision, knowing that there's going to be a lot of runs scored today. He believes in his offense. His offense has not been limited in any postseason play.
2-1. Slider, bottom of the zone. Jackson disagrees.
Okay, so this is where Jackson gets really good. There's a reason why his on-base percentage and his batting average is high. He's not thinking too much.
I love this timeout right here by Wes Johnson because he could tell Daniel Jackson got a little bit upset, so he just wants to calm him down and focus and say, okay, there's 2 strikes. What do you do best? And we saw Daniel Jackson do this yesterday. Hey, if he's going to pitch you away, use the backside of the field. He has done that all year long.
And you're right. And knowing your hitter, knowing your player, and knowing the temperament, you want to slow him down. But you look at those numbers, and it's your first time here, and you're thinking, why would you do that? Because this is a guy that does make those adjustments as a catcher and as a hitter. So let's see what prevails and what wins here.
Take a look at his last pitch. McPherson takes that little slider and bends it kind of down away. It definitely caught the play. Could have been a little bit low.
Two on, nobody out in the second. 2-2. Outside. Does it feel to you guys like most of the misses have been with fastballs?
Yes. And we talked about it. One of the key for him was going to be the fastball command. Can he throw the ball where he wants to throw it? Right now, he is spraying that fastball.
So what comes here? Slider?
Slider is what he seems to be landing the most right now.
Payoff. Fastball hit on the screws. It's short. Caught. And back to second, not in time. Trying to double off Ryan Black.
That was a nice move by Ryan Black. Sometimes you get real aggressive and you take off. He could have easily got doubled up on that line drive, but he didn't get too far off the base and just barely made it back into second base.
And what they teach you, as soon as the ball's hit on the line, don't hesitate, go back to the bag. It's not freeze, it's you go back. He looked back. He was fortunate that he got back, and they could have challenged that one as well.
I mean, that's the old rule of thumb been in baseball forever. If you're at second base, the ball at you or behind you, you will move up. If it's in front of you, that ball clearly in front of him.
About 113 off the bat, so really credit Black to getting back.
I'm really surprised they didn't challenge that play at second.
And here comes Brian O'Connor. I mean, he's seeing the hard contacts right there from Daniel Jackson and the home run from Colby Branch. And yeah, let's see here, Eddie.
I think with Lujo coming up the day that he had yesterday, already with 1 run driven in, I don't think that hand got in there, that mitt, by the time he caught it.
They did not opt to challenge. And Rylan Lujo will bat when we come back. We're less than a week away from the start of the Men's College World Series with the beach balls flying as always in Omaha at Charles Schwab Field.
I blame KD for the beach balls.
They keep on coming. So does the Georgia offense, who has chased Ryan McPherson, and now Duke Stone, a starter, enters here.
Yeah, Duke Stone making his 18th appearance. 15 starts under his belt. He can strike you out. 74 innings of work, 102 strikeouts. His biggest asset, man. Look at the strikeout to walk ratio. Outstanding. Only 26 walks, 102 strikeouts. It's a 4-pitch mix, which you would think of him being a starter. Fastball, slider, curveball, and a changeup as well. Pretty good velocity, too. That fastball is going to be low, and it'll pop into the mid-90s from time to time.
Into the game in the second inning at Foley Field in Athens for the 3-hitter in the Georgia lineup, Rylan Lujo. Had a sac fly to left his first time. Roller at short. Ryder Woodson up with it, and Garrick Fry's turn not nearly in time. So we showed you that low ground ball rate on the numbers for Duke Stone, and of course, he gets a ground ball right away.
Comes in and gets a ground ball. Yeah, this ballpark will make you pitch a little bit different, and that's why I love pitchers that can pitch up and they can pitch down, depending on the swing that you're facing that particular day, and also the ballpark you play in. Wes Johnson told us he likes to recruit pitchers to here to come to the University of Georgia that have two-seam fastballs, that have sinking fastballs, that keep the ball more on the ground in this ballpark.
But that can also strike out guys.
Well, here's Michael O'Shaughnessy, the hero yesterday, who has faced Duke Stone 3 times this year, and Stone has struck him out all 3 times.
Some people say the do factor is in effect.
Not to be confused with the dude effect in Starkville.
The Duke factor?
The do factor.
You do.
If you're a Georgia Bulldog fan, if you're a Mississippi State fan, just keep that status quo.
And a red-hot O'Shaughnessy, who homered last Sunday when he replaced Trey Phelps post-ejection, and then continued it with the 2 more home runs yesterday. 1-1. Back foot, 2-1.
You see O'Shaughnessy's first move with the hips. He's already in launch position with his bottom half, trying to get something down. Will Stone go up with a fastball? I think there's a spot there that he can with his velocity and action.
And that was the issue for O'Shaughnessy when he came out of the lineup. The swing and miss. Kind of a prototypical guy that Georgia recruits in the portal. That they want power, they want launch angle in their hitters, and they'll live with some swing and miss because they are catering to this ballpark.
And most likely the swing and miss is always going to be middle up if you have velocity. Stone has that.
Huge foul, 2-2. So the 2 big ones yesterday for O'Shaughnessy. First to tie and then for the lead.
Yeah, first one came in the 5th inning. That was a 2-run shot. Lefty, that tied the ball game. And then in the 8th inning, he just takes a fastball on the outside part of the plate. A Weaver, a 3-run shot, and that would put the Bulldogs ahead at the time.
2-2. There's the one up the ladder. Georgia out to a 3-0 lead and threatening more. Stone trying to keep it right here. 3-2. Just missed. Wow. And the bases are loaded.
Stone was walking back to the dugout already, too. He had taken a couple steps. He thought the pitch had caught the inside corner. Did not. Now he has to reset, especially against Kenny Ishikawa, who is a contact hitter at the plate.
Boy, 3 borderline calls. 2 of them have gone against Mississippi State in the first inning and a half. Well, here is Kenny Ishikawa with the bases drunk. Ishikawa walked his first time. excellent bat-to-ball hitter. Kenny Ishikawa, as we said, the Seattle transfer. It's not been quite the season they envisioned for Kenny Ishikawa, because in February he suffered a hairline fracture on his right foot when he got hit by a pitch. He didn't need surgery, but it really affected him. I mean, they were thinking that this guy would probably be their Saturday starter, too, as a two-way talent. 2-0 is a strike with a heater.
He creeps up on the plate as well. When Stone comes set, his feet move. You guys remember University of Michigan, Hal Morris, back in the day, then played for the Cincinnati Reds. Starts at one spot, then creeps in towards the plate.
2-1. Drifts outside, 3-1, and nowhere to put Kenny Ishikawa. Loaded up for Georgia in the second. 3-1. Ball 4, and it's 4-0 Georgia.
We're not even through 2 innings already. 4 walks, 1 hit by pitch as well. And he's putting the pressure on Mississippi State, being very selective at the plate are the Georgia Bulldogs.
They are just not expanding the zone. There's been a lot of close pitches they've been able to lay off of so far.
Still loaded up for Ryan Wynn, 8th batter for Georgia this inning. First pitch swinging at Ace Reese to the bag in time to end the inning. 2 in the first, 2 more in the second, and it started with Colby Branch to the parking lot.
Yeah, Colby Branch gets him an elevated breaking ball. He knows just what to do with that one, and he knew it when he touched it. He had home run number 18. Dogs up early in this one.
Games all over the place today. Next up at 3 o'clock Eastern here on ESPN, it's USC and UNC. How about that for Mississippi State? That matches the largest deficit they've faced in the first 2 innings of any game this year. But plenty of offense on this team and in this ballpark as Vitas Valencius leads off against Caden Aoki. Mississippi State does have 3 wins this season when they've trailed by at least 4.
Oh, this team's not going away. I'll tell you that right now. And if you're Mississippi State, it's about just calming down and stacking some good at-bats together. Back-to-back good at-bats.
What do you guys think of Caden Aoki's pace on the mound?
He's got a nice rhythm. It's nice and smooth rhythm. He can kind of lull you to sleep a little bit with those off-speed pitches, and he can take 90. And it's a big difference for a hitter to adjust, because we've seen the off-speed pitches. So the fastball's at 90, 91, but the off-speed pitches are down at like 79, 80, 81. So pretty good adjustment to make for a hitter.
Very methodical on the mound, making sure he knows and is aware of the time. Yes, he was already called for a violation once with runners on, but he is making sure that he is executing every pitch. He cannot afford to miss in the zone with that velocity.
His 1-2. It's that sharp curveball. The coaches who faced Aoki last weekend, as Aoki was great against Liberty, they said his breaking balls, they have such late bite to it.
Well, you see why, because we got the monitor in front of us. He spins his breaking ball a little over 2,700 RPMs. That's what makes it late. The average big league curveball spins about 2,600 RPMs to kind of give you an idea. What does that mean? It means it has later and tighter break at the end.
Sharply on the ground into center. A base hit to lead off the second for Vitas Valencius.
That's a good start there for Mississippi State. Being down 4, you get that leadoff hitter on, and he worked the count to make it and force Aoki to get in the zone.
Yeah, and the key is, again, using gap to gap and staying in the middle part of the ballpark against Aoki, because he's very unpredictable.
Leadoff man on in front of Reed Stallman, 23-year-old on his 3rd school. native of Robbins, Iowa. He's able to lay off the breaking ball to start on appeal down to third.
That's what you have to do against Stallman if you're going to throw the breaking ball. We saw the damage he did yesterday, but the damage that he's done all season long on the breaking ball. OPS over 1,000, 6 home runs, 10 extra base hits on balls that are landing in the zone. Got to get him to chase.
So 2-0 to start from Caden Aoki. The breaking ball masher, Reed Stallman. Reed Stallman hasn't played every day this season. Handful of games here and there where he was out of the lineup, but Brian O'Connor said it's an old, mature hitter with power. Plus the great defense at first, fully on display in the regionals. Cut and a miss through the sinker.
And the sinker's the right pitch there. You're feeding off the aggressiveness of him trying to pull the ball and make this a 2-run ball game. But if you get the sinker, you get him to pull off of it, maybe hit it off the end of the bat, you could get 2, instead of runs, 2 outs on a double play.
Two-one. Backside down the line, dropping down. That is foul.
That was almost a thing right there.
Boy, how about 3 near misses, whether it's check swing, ball strike, or fair foul so far for Mississippi State.
I'll tell you this, though, the great Greg Maddox would be on the mound right now. He'd try to throw a 2-seamer right at his head.
Front hip him?
Front hip him.
I think that's the best pitch in baseball, because out of the hand the hitter gives up on it. You see it as a ball, you flinch a little bit, and then you have the ability to run it right back over the inside part. To me, it's the best pitch in baseball. We've not seen that from Aoki yet.
2 balls and 2 strikes on Reed Stallman. Popped up. Eduardo told you there'd be a lot of this against Caden Aoki, and Rylan Lujo's there for the first out.
And the frustrating part as a hitter, you go back into that dugout saying, man, how did I let him get away with it? And next thing you know, it might be the 5th, 6th inning, and you're still playing the same game.
It's what you call a comfortable 0 for 3. Now, always hitters come back and say, that's a comfortable 0 for 3, because he's the guy that just pitches. Now, what I'm not seeing from Aoki is a lot of work on the inside part of the plate yet. Like, a lot of stuff is to the outside part, a lot of off-speed pitches. So we'll see if Mississippi State can kind of make some adjustments. Watch where Daniel Jackson rocks right here. Kind of on the outer third of the plate, another ball in the outside part. So that's what I'm seeing a lot from Aoki so far. A lot of heaters away and a lot of off-speed pitches.
Ryder Woodson's the batter, the shortstop in the 7th spot. Transferred in this year from NC State, originally from Naples, Florida. Woodson a solo home run yesterday in the 7th inning that he pounded to left field.
And he was sitting breaking pitch on that home run. Wonder if he'll do that this afternoon against Aoki as well.
Can I submit to you guys another candidate for most effective pitch? The backup breaking ball. Like, no one's figured out how to hit the backup breaking ball. Pitchers aren't trying to throw it, and yet it's so hard to hit.
The pitchers haven't figured out how to throw it.
Like the pitchers can't consistently do it, but when you do it in the right spot, it can be a death ball, like a really good pitch. Because the hitter sees spin, and he goes to where he thinks the ball should end up, and when it backs up a little bit, it just throws the hitter off.
1-2. Strike 3 called. With the hammer from Caden Aoki, round number 2.
I'm not sure that's where he wanted that breaking ball, because Daniel Jackson set up on the outside part of the plate. When you get that breaking ball on the inside part, it causes you to flinch just a little bit. He drops it in right on the inside part of the plate, and as a hitter, not much you can do with that one.
So 2 outs for Aoki after the leadoff single from Vitas Valencias. And now to the 8th spot catcher for the Seton Hall transfer, Kevin Maluski, who had 2 home runs yesterday. Launches here down the left field line into the corner, and it hooks foul. He got 2 yesterday, and they were both clobbered.
They were both clobbered, one to the opposite field. Beautifully done, stays on it on the slider, and goes deep right center. But this one right here, straightaway center, another off-speed pitch, does not miss, and takes 3 left turns, like Jim Thome would say after hitting home runs.
Yeah, Maluski came in hitting yesterday. 220 was his batting average. He hit 2 home runs. He gets to 12 on the year.
Guy's been nicked up a couple times this year. He missed a few weeks with a back problem earlier in the season. And then he was in concussion protocol heading into the regionals because a foul tip had jarred him a bit before they got to regionals. Behind in the count here against Aoki. 0-2. No chase.
Nice block, too, by Daniel Jackson, man. He can do it on both sides of the ball. This is my first look at him. I mean, he does a nice job framing. He really is good behind home plate when it comes to blocking. You can see he uses a little bit of a smaller mitt, too. Look how small that mitt is compared to a lot of mitts.
One-two. Hit well in the air by Maluski to center. Lujo's back. Mississippi State's on the board. Kevin Maluski does it again.
Hey now. Mississippi State in the house.
It's 2 out of the 3 home runs he's hit. He's hit with 2 strikes. And they've been breaking pitches at that. The bottom half collapses, but the hands stay up, and the power is real. In this ballpark, you hit it up in the air, center field, right center. It does not matter. It's an equal opportunistic ballpark for power, and he gets it, and he gets all of it on it.
It's a hanger, too, though. Look where it is. I mean, it's not even a strike, and they have the ability to go up well above the top of the strike zone and just flatten out your bat on a hanging breaking ball. That is impressive.
How about 427, threatening the 10th, protecting our great camera operators. I mean, Kevin Maluski is just pelting balls to and beside the batter's eye.
No hard hats out there for our peeps? Look at all those dents. It's like a hailstorm right out there.
And now Bryce Chance with the sword to start against Caden Aoki.
Blake, Sean, out there in center field. Hard hats.
Stay safe, boys.
While you're at it, chest protector as well, and shin guards.
Call the strike. You mentioned the small glove for Daniel Jackson. What impact do you guys think that has on framing? Like, is it a lighter glove?
It could hurt him a little bit because a lot of catchers like to put the glove and catch it just in the webbing and not go out of the strike zone to catch it. And so bigger gloves sometimes can fool umpires a little bit more. But it's whatever you're comfortable with.
But I think the transfer also as well works in its favor.
Remember, Pud Rodriguez had a tiny, tiny mitt behind home plate. And he always talked about the reason why he had that. One, he was about as good as it came at framing balls and picking balls. But the transfer, when runners would steal from glove to throwing hand, was a lot quicker, a lot smoother for him.
Good job by Bryce Chance laying out there with 2 strikes. I mentioned how good Mississippi State's been batting with 2 strikes. They have 8 2-strike home runs. Wow. In the NCAA tournament, the most of any team.
They had 5 or 6 2-out base hits or 2-strike base hits yesterday. But it's all about their approach.
What do you like about it, Ben?
I just think they stay away from chasing balls outside the zone. They just work pitchers, and then when they get to 2 strikes, they have the ability to shorten up and just kind of put balls in play. And that's what we saw them do a lot yesterday. Remember, they scored 6 runs in the second inning yesterday and jumped out 7-0 on Georgia.
(3-2) to Chance. On the ground, left side. Phelps slides, rises, throws, and the pick not made by Hudson. Chance bolts to second. Here in the second.
But we talked about it earlier when it comes to defense. And earlier we saw Ace Reese at third base going to his backhand, hitting the ground. And as soon as you hit the ground, it is really difficult in this turf to get back up and be balanced. And Trey Phelps also now this time going to his left. Watch him get up and trips again and goes the other way, falling towards left field, and the ball sails on him. Hudson has to try to keep that ball in front of him instead of trying to pick it.
Georgia, 2 errors yesterday. That's going to be an error today. They typically don't make many errors. If you look at Georgia on the year, guys, 983 fielding percentage. That is 6th best in the entire country. So that's 3 errors for them in about a game and a quarter so far.
I will say this, 50 pitches in already for Aoki. Mississippi State is doing their job. They're getting long at-bats right now. Aoki should be pitching more to contact instead of trying to get that swing and miss. And he's trying to be too perfect on the corners, and he's not getting it, lengthening the at-bats.
And now he's got to go through the order for the second time with the leadoff man, Garrick Fry. Popped to short his first time. First pitch swinging, beats it into the turf, and Ryan Wynn got a flip. He got it there in time to end the inning. But Mississippi State's on the board with Kevin Maluski.
Kevin Maluski does it again, folks. You hang them, Mississippi State will certainly bang them. And I tell you what, he buries a 2-run shot, and the Bulldogs have cut the lead in half.
The NBA Finals, Spurs at Knicks, with NBA tip-off starting at 8 Eastern, followed by the game at 8:30. Watch it on ABC and stream it live on ESPN app.
How about the NBA Finals and the Stanley Cup Final, just alternating nights, and the games have been incredible.
This is the best time of the year for me for sports. You got a little bit of everything going on.
And a whole lot of college baseball from noon to midnight right here on ESPN, part of 5 games in Super Regionals.
And we didn't mention it yesterday, but congratulations to the Horns for softball.
Yes.
Yeah. Back-to-back national titles. How about that?
It's an awesome event every year in OKC. Yeah. Alongside Ben McDonald and Eduardo Perez, and with our entire excellent crew behind the scenes, Mike Monaco with you, as we go to the top of the 3rd inning in Game 2. Again, these are best of 3 supers around the country. Brennan Hudson leads off 7, 8, and 9 against Duke Stone, who came into this game last inning for the Mississippi State starter, Ryan McPherson.
Such a big inning for Stone, right here and right now. His offense came out, cut the lead in half. Now he's going to try to stack a 0 and get his offense right back in there.
It was all 4 pitches going for Duke Stone last weekend. He pitched on Friday in their regional opener against Lipscomb. 6 innings shutout ball, 10 strikeouts, no walks. Hammer, line drive to the trees and right. See ya. Brennan Hudson with a nuke to right center.
Well, he's crushed right-handed pitching all season long. Came into this series with an OPS over 1,300 against righties. 20 home runs, make that 21 right now for Hudson.
That's what you call flattening your bat out. That's looking heater and getting the heater elevated, top quadrant of the strike zone. Watch this move to the ball right here, folks. I mean, that thing's not even a strike. It's letter high, and look how flat the bat gets through the zone up there. That is hard to do on an elevated heater. And that ball got out like now, like right now.
His scouting report says his swing is built on damage and loft.
Well, it wasn't a ton of loft there, but it was plenty of damage done. That was almost a line drive getting out of here.
416 feet. Almost half the hits for Brennan Hudson are homers. Colby Branch now. Ball in a strike after Colby Branch went deep to start the second.
Scary to say we're on pace for the same amount of home runs as yesterday.
You're right. The number was 11 yesterday. 3 already today. And I would not say we're cruising along at a brisk pace in this one. We are having a lot of fun. in Athens, Georgia. How good's the atmosphere been for these two games, too?
Awesome. Just like we thought it would be. This is a fun place. It's not a huge ballpark, as we talked about yesterday, as far as capacity goes. About 3,800 from what we hear, and then, of course, there's standing room. But, man, is it loud.
Up top, 5-pitch walk, and Colby Branch is on. And how would you like to be on Kudzu Hill for one of these games this weekend here in Athens?
I would say it would be fun. You look up right field, man. It is packed out there. And the way the ball's flying, you see those people way up there on top, they very well might get one today.
Why have we been seeing slides all around Athens?
Have you gone down any of those, Ben?
Not in the last few months I haven't, but I've been down them before. I like the ones that are wet with a little bit of slippy soap on them, but that way you get a lot of speed going down.
Ryan Black, be honest, Ben. When was the last time you went down any kind of slide, whether it's inflatable or whether it's a water slide?
Not even a year ago, because I went to one of my nephew's birthday parties and they had one in their backyard, so I had to go do it.
Why wouldn't you?
I had to try it once.
6'7" of camo.
I
coming
love
down.
those things, man.
And the flat top did not flinch, I bet.
No, it stayed the same for a lot of years now.
Same barber.
Same barber.
How many years? Same barber.
1987.
Are you serious?
87. My first year at LSU, I was playing basketball and baseball. I'm like, I'm not going. I was 2 practices a day, 2 different sports. I'm like, I'm not going through all this, trying to fix my hair and all this stuff. So I just got it cut off. I was like, give me a flat top, and I'm done with it. It's been that way ever since.
Jazzy Jeff, here we go.
It's been that way ever since.
Big strikeout there for Duke Stone of Ryan Black to get a key first out because he flips the lineup over now to Trey Phelps.
And that's only the second strikeout of the day for Mississippi State. And this is a team that came in. Talk about Mississippi State's pitching, guys. 6 most strikeouts in all of college baseball. So they're a team that can really strike you out. But Georgia's done a good job today of laying off the balls, not in the strike zone.
First pitch in for a strike to Trey Phelps, who's had the best season this year of his career. And he was telling us the other day about where his hands have been. He said last year, without even trying to, he said subconsciously they got higher. And he went back, located it in the fall, figured out that was the difference between freshman and sophomore year, and then lowered it.
And he's quietly been able to keep them down there. There's not a lot of movement down with the hands. If there were, then you'd be concerned with any pitch middle up with velocity.
Who does that remind you of?
Eric Davis.
Thank you. I mean, that's Eric Davis to a T right there. That's exactly where Eric Davis held his hands.
And you know who moved Eric Davis's hands down there because they used to be up? His hitting coach. You know who his hitting coach was at the time?
Who's that?
It's my father, Tony Perez.
Told him to move him up, huh?
Yeah, because he used to have his hands up and he used to hitch the hands all the way down. He doesn't hitch the hands. I personally, because he doesn't hitch the hands up, eventually when he does make the transition to pro ball, he's going to have to bring them up a little bit more.
Back-to-back Ks for Duke Stone. And now Daniel Jackson. First pitch swinging to right. Parker started in. Now he's back. And just like that, Duke Stone gets out of the rest of the third inning. But Brennan Hudson on a clothesline feeds the trees.
This is what you call going top shelf right here. That's leaning back on one. He leaned back on that one. His 21st long ball. His 49th RBI. Georgia up 5-2 going to the bottom of the third.
Back in Athens, Georgia. Georgia trying to get to Omaha for the first time since 2008. And Georgia, as Ben told you, got the SEC's first title back in 1990.
It's been an amazing run for the Southeastern Conference. What is it, 6 in a row, 7 of 8? 11 of the last 16 national titles, and we just showed you 17 of the last 35, and it was the Georgia Bulldogs back in 1990, the first national title for the SEC.
And a good day for the SEC yesterday. Ace Reese leading off against Caden Aoki. And it's 1 ball and 1 strike. Oklahoma got a win against Kansas 8-1. Number 7 national seed Alabama won 8-0 against St. John's. Texas 11-3 over Oregon. And then in an all-SEC matchup just like this one, Ole Miss on to Omaha beating the 4 seed Auburn.
So the Southeastern Conference could very well have, 5 teams in Omaha, 5 of the 8.
And that's never been done.
A couple of years ago, we had 4 SEC and 4 ACC schools in there. We're all 8, but never a conference has gotten 5 there.
2-1 to Ace Reese. Takes the breaking ball. 2-2. Still everything away from Aoki.
Yeah, he's not used the inside part of the play on purpose yet.
He got Ace Reese to pop to short his first time back in the bottom of the first inning. It's been real fun to watch Ace Reese this year as he works with his new coaching staff. Brian O'Connor was telling us when O'Connor got the job, Ace Reese was in North Carolina, and Brian O'Connor flew there to meet him. And they talked in Brian O'Connor's hotel room, and they went every defensive play. They went through every single one that Reese had made in his sophomore season. He's improved in that regard. Strikes out there, 1 away.
The good ones, the bad ones, and not only that, they thought they would be able to work on it during the fall, but he had an injury where he ended up having surgery. And to his credit, did a lot of hand work, backhand from knee drills to be able to get on point and be ready for the spring.
No, the hit tool for Ace Reese was always there, but he wanted to improve his defense to become a first rounder. He wanted to show that he could play on both sides of the ball. Brian O'Connor told us he's made big strides. Now, he said he's not there yet. He's still got a ways to go at the third base position, but he made big strides this year defensively.
Noah Sullivan rolls out at Colby Branch, and 2 quick ones for Caden Aoki in the third.
Don't hit it there.
Aoki's just too, he's very unpredictable, and you're right. The one place you don't want to hit it in this infield is over to Colby Branch, arguably one of the better shortstops defensively in the country. And it's not flashy. He just gets it done.
And it's the footwork. Watch the read on contact. He sees it, he takes a step back. When he takes that step back, it makes it easier for that bounce than the follow through on the throw.
0-1 on Jacob Parker. Colby Branch loves talking about defense and field surfaces.
Yes, he does. It seems.
Just a baller. That's what he is, man. Just comes to play every day.
Parker in the air to left. Kenny Ishikawa to the corner. He jumps and makes the catch. Inning over.
The difference between yesterday not being able to catch a similar ball and that one right there, he did it with one hand instead of 2. Nice adjustment. Bulldogs up next.
Wes, you said it's like Nintendo with Caden Aoki. What's it like calling pitches for him?
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of fun. You so as you guys can see, we've thrown any pitch, his fastball, his changeup, his slider, and his curveball. We've thrown him pretty much any count, any time. He made one mistake with that curveball. We were obviously trying to get it to the floor, and he left it up. But that's going to happen occasionally with the curveball. And I think since then, obviously, he settled in and was attacking last inning and executing pitches.
Yeah, he does a good job. I love the way he throws. Looks like he's got a little 2-seamer. He'll throw a 4-seamer, but he's very unpredictable. It looks like to me that's his strength, being able to land those off-speed pitches even in plus counts from time to time.
Yeah, you know that, Ben. I mean, you think about it, right? I mean, the good ones are just keeping good hitters off time, right? Or, not allowing them to get on time, and that's what he does a really good job of.
Wes, thank you. Good luck the rest of the way.
All right, thanks, and go Dogs.
4th inning, Georgia up 3-2 in this battle of Bulldogs.
Well, what a job Wes Johnson has done. Took over 3 years, won 43 games each of his first 2 years, and 50 wins this year for the Bulldogs.
Up by 3, leading 5-2. What impresses you most about the job he's done here?
I just think how quickly he went out and he hit the portal, and he was able to get some guys in here and start winning ball games. He's made the NCAA tournament all 3 years, been a national seed again this year, and I tell you what, he just does a good job with recruiting. Obviously, his strength is the pitching side of things, but this offense is real.
Rylan Lujo on a line to left, and this will short hop off the wall. Lujo in the second. Leadoff double.
He continues to impress with the bat. First at bat was a sac fly. The second one, he got a little anxious and hit a ground ball. in the infield, but this one right here brings his hands in, finds Barrel in an easy double.
So a leadoff double in front of Michael O'Shaughnessy, who was followed up yesterday. 2 good trips so far. Single his first time, and then he ran it full in the second before he walked against Duke Stone.
And O'Shaughnessy's got one job here. Leadoff double, you got to get a ball to the right side. If he gets through, that's icing on the cake, but move that runner from second to third and less than 2 out.
I would say trade places with him.
That would be even better. But for Georgia right now, being up by 3, it's about continuing to add on.
0-2 on the guy they call Shaggy. He told us after the game yesterday, when you get the chance on this team, you gotta punch. If there's a crack in the door open for you to get back into the lineup, he said you gotta go in and take it.
You know, and that's a great point, because you work while you wait, and you never know when your number's going to be called. And his number got called because Trey Phelps got suspended, so he got to go and play third base yesterday, and wow, what a performance he put on.
This one spiked away from Maluski. Lujo moves up 90.
Nothing much Maluski could do on that one. The ball just bounced way ahead of him. Those are the tough ones to be able to block.
Yeah, those are the mostly impossible ones, because you want to take it off the chest, but when it bounces, especially on turf, man, when it bounces, it's coming up high. I mean, look where that ball hit. That ball hit a good 6 or 8 feet out in front of home plate, and even with him trying to come up with his chest, it still hits right off the top of his right shoulder and kicks away.
Duke Stone's 1-2. Ooh, just off the edge.
I'll say this, Brian O'Connor is sending a message to his defense right now that 5 runs will not be enough, or 6 won't be enough either. Infield is playing back, down by 3 in the top half of the 4th inning.
So you're conceding the run.
You are conceding the run right here, knowing that his offense has a lot of opportunities.
Skied to right center. Bryce Chance approaches and makes the catch, and they won't even try on Rylan Lujo. 6-2, Georgia.
Man, the red zone offense is what I call the red zone offense. You get runners in scoring position and runner at third in less than 2 out. When you don't need a base hit to score a run, you got to be big, and Georgia's done it all year long. They have found ways, and that red zone offense to get runs home.
So leads 4 again for Georgia. You see they're unbeaten when they lead by at least 4 in this ballpark. 6 RBIs from 6 different players. And now Kenny Ishikawa, who you saw has walked twice.
First 4 innings already, Georgia has been able to get the leadoff runner on, either via the home run, the walk, or in this case, in this inning, the double. And all of them have scored.
They just pressure you up 1 through 9. They have scored now in every inning so far as Georgia. That is 1 through 9. 6 different guys with an RBI.
And think about it, right? You have the home runs, but you also have the productive outs. Already 3 runs have scored on productive outs. Remember, Tim Kirchin always has said and wrote the book, fascinated by sac flies.
How's Timmy doing?
Oh, he's doing great. Poor Pop-Up, taking care of the grandkids.
He's got his hands full now.
He's got more than his hands full.
Hey, speaking of the great Tim Kirchin in the big leagues and this neck of the woods, Thursday at 7 Eastern, Mariners and Orioles right here on ESPN, or on the ESPN app.
Oh, what a Big Ben not being there here.
Going to be a good one, but I'd rather be here.
There we go. That's what I'm talking about.
1-2. What makes Ishikawa so hard to put away?
It's bat path versus setup. He understands that batter's box is his. He'll move around in that batter's box depending on the count. But also, you see the way he holds his hands with a little tilt.
sharply to first. Stallman gobbles. Stone covers.
And it's just the ability. He grew up in Japan, and the philosophy of hitting there, and he's been able to adopt also a little bit of the philosophy here as well. It's contact first.
Yeah,
and he knows what his role is.
It's a short stroke for me, and he knows who he is, right? Not a big home run guy. Not that he can't hit the ball out of the ballpark, but I think the biggest part for hitters and pitchers at this level, and even at any level, is understanding who you are and what you do the best.
Two outs, bases empty. Ryan Wynn. 2 ground outs so far. The first one in the first inning scored a run at first base. This Georgia offense just keeps coming at you. They have scored in 8 of their last 9 innings. This one inadvertently foul for Wynn, so it's 0-2 from Duke Stone. The 0-2. That's just off at 94 from Stone.
A little warmer than yesterday, even though it's
A little stickier.
I agree. Wynn tried to hold up, but he went around. Strikes out on a nasty slider from Duke Stone. Brian O'Connor joins us next, game 2. Bottom of the 4th inning, and Brian O'Connor nice enough to join us. Oak, long way to go in this one. What do you need to see from your offense against Caden Aoki?
Well, we got to string some hits together for sure, and then maybe somebody hit a 3-run home run. The ballpark's playing small this weekend, and that's the same for both teams, and we got to take advantage of it and continue to fight with 2 strikes. Aoki's done a nice job of mixing and matching. We just got to make sure we have the right approach against him.
Coach, the leadoff hitter for the Georgia Bulldogs been getting on, and they've been scoring. What have you been telling your guys?
Yeah, we just, Eduardo, it's a great question. We just got to manage innings a little bit better. Obviously they have the 2 solo home runs, but we're giving away too many free passes, and you just can't do that. We got to attack the bat, and what happens, happens, and hopefully Duke Stone can settle in a little bit, and we'll go after him with everything we have in the bullpen.
Oak, thank you.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, to his point on free passes, they've issued 6 walks. Yeah, hit a batter and had a wild pitch.
It's about the extra opportunities, and this is the kind of offense, again, you cannot give extra opportunities to.
Keep rolling over that lineup, and that's a big issue, especially when they're all dangerous from 1 through 9.
Vitas Valencias leads off in this home half of the 4th. By the way, it was a great question, Eduardo, from you.
See that?
Don't think I didn't hear that.
I know. I win.
How do you solve Caden Aoki? That's the question here. Aoki about to throw his 60th pitch.
I think Valencias actually did a great job last time hitting. 2-strike approach, stayed up the middle. I think this is what you have to do against Aoki.
It's what we talked about earlier. And I would almost just eliminate the inside part of the plate if I was Mississippi State, and I would just look middle away.
And be patient. He wants you to chase out of the zone. He wants to induce soft contact. He knows that he's not a strikeout thrower.
And yet he gets so much chase. He's gotten the most swing and miss of his career because he does have the sterling command and all the different pitches. 1-2. Off the edge. Good take.
Aoki was bouncing off the mound. He thought he had a punch out right there. Little glare in, little head shake.
He'll do this. He will perform a little bit on the mound with personality. A pitch that was clearly off the plate.
Yeah.
I mean, there's some confidence and some swagger and some fun to
Caden Aoki. His way of saying I wanted that. And I threw the ball exactly where I wanted to throw it.
Two.
Got it that time.
Sure did. Went the back door.
And with a stare in as well.
And a little bit of a head shake, too. Said, hey, you made me throw an extra pitch. I hadn't even punched out the one before that, too. But this is a backdoor two-seamer, folks. And I'm going to tell you, you can't throw it any better than that. It's a ball out of the hand, but look how that ball just creeps back over the outside edge as Daniel Jackson frames it, rips it back over. Aoki says, thank you very much, but it should have been the pitch before.
The secret to Aoki is get ahead, right? 7 straight batters with the first pitch strikes.
See what he does to Reed Stallman. Laced down the line and right by Stallman to the pole, and that is foul. Boy, Reed Stallman's had a couple close calls in 2 trips today.
Aoki reminds me a lot of former University of Miami pitcher back in our day, Sean Purdy, who then pitched also and was a teammate of mine with the Angels. Sean Purdy, matter of fact, is also the father of San Francisco 49er quarterback Brock Purdy.
How about that?
Same type of build. Bulldog mentality on that mound.
Caden Aoki's 23 years old, 5th-year senior from Huntington Beach, California. Spent his freshman season at one of the great institutions in the world, Notre Dame, under Link Jarrett, on a team that reached the College World Series. Didn't pitch very much that year. To USC for 3 years.
It's a lot of experience. And you look at it, he's closing in on 300 career innings pitched at the collegiate level. And there's nothing more important to me than experience and being out in that bump. That's where you learn how to pitch. That's where you learn who you are. I mean, he's making his 46th career start, his 66th career appearance.
With 1 year here at Georgia, both roles. We told you it's him and UNC superstar Caden Glauber, guys that have 9 wins, if you like wins still, and at least 3 saves.
Amazing.
Caden Glauber, by the way, is the starting pitcher today for North Carolina in a winner-take-all Game 3 in Chapel Hill against Southern Cal that will follow us here on ESPN at 3 Eastern.
Glauber's real. I mean, me and you saw him, Mikey, last weekend in North Carolina. I tell you what, that's some real stuff. And he can give you some length. I mean, he can give you 5 or 6 innings.
Caden Aoki's 2-2 to Reed Stallman. He lays off. And some Soto of his own, 3-2. Yeah, that's the other side of the bracket. That's the left side, where West Virginia and Troy, led by Skylar Meade. We loved him taking shots at Mike Rooney for saying that there's no athleticism in a former left-handed pitcher coaching in the third base coach's box. More of that, Skylar, please. 3-2. Swing and a miss. Aoki fans and fells Stallman.
This is what you call slow, fast. And to me, it's the best sequence in baseball for a pitcher. 2 breaking balls, and then he just takes a 90-mile-an-hour two-seam fastball, just rips it pretty much right down the heart of the plate. But when you can throw back-to-back off-speed pitches, it upsets the timing of a hitter. And then at only 90 miles an hour, below average fastball velocity-wise, you can still sneak it by guys.
You know what's interesting? That two-seam fastball, you can see it has a lot of action when a hitter swings over it. You rarely see a hitter swinging over a fastball four-seamer, but the two-seamer working to his perfection.
Now Ryder Woodson. Forgive the ignorance of this question. Are they in front of his fastball, too? Like, we've seen a few swings where it feels like they might be out ahead of it.
I think there's a lot more action than we can really appreciate from the center field camera.
And then the curveball paired with it.
Yeah.
Watch where the bat head is compared to where the ball is. Four-seam fastballs, usually hitter swings underneath the baseball. Two-seamers coming in 90-plus. Aoki's situation swung over the pitch.
It's got a little run in it, but it's got some depth in it as well. Just a typical two-seam fastball. And when you face a two-seam fastball, guys, you talk to a lot of big league hitters, they try to get to the bottom of the ball. The idea on a two-seam fastball, because you know it's going down. And if you go for the ball, you hit a lot of ground balls to be over the top of it, but you want to try to get to the bottom of the ball on a sinking fastball.
And that was Joe DiMaggio's philosophy. Always swing the bottom part of the baseball on two-seam pitches.
Now, Aoki's been good today, man. He's retired the leadoff batter in 3 or 4 innings, a lot of first pitch strikes. He's put hitters on the fence right away. He's been very unpredictable, and he's doing what we thought he would do. He is just simply pitching.
Caden Aoki's 2-2. Pin points.
Hey now, Caden Aoki, the veteran, the 23-year-old, he's doing it, folks. How about this? Punches out the side. Backdoor two-seamer. Another two-seam fastball and a 3-2 count, and then another backdoor two-seamer. Caden Aoki doing it for Georgia.
4 innings in the books at Foley Field in Athens, Georgia. 3-seed Georgia up on the number 14 national seed Mississippi State. 6-2 in game 2.
What we got going on here?
This is Dizzy Bat Sour Power. If you haven't heard by now, Sour Power has taken hold for this Georgia team over the last few months. Fueled by it from Buc-ee's. It started on Georgia's road trip to Starkville a couple months ago. Buc-ee's is great, by the way.
That's a treat. Have you ever had the brisket there?
I haven't.
Oh. Wow.
Sounds like I'm missing out.
Yes, you are.
Brendan Hudson leads off against Duke Stone to start the 5th inning. Ron Polk, by the way, was telling us the other day, he just had Buc-ee's for the first time ever as Mississippi State came here to Georgia.
And the only reason I knew that is because he pulled out his flip phone. Not even an iPhone or one of those Androids. My man's still rocking the flip phone, and he found a picture of himself at Buc-ee's on his flip phone.
Yeah, one of the Mississippi State staffers used AI to create an edit that's basically like a movie poster of Ron Polk at Buc-ee's. 3-1 on Hudson. He thought it was the greatest thing he'd ever seen. So both these teams powered by Buc-ee's. Hot shot, one hop off the mid of Reed Stallman. It lands next to him, and the flip not in time.
And another leadoff runner.
5 for 5 for Georgia. Leadoff runner.
They've all scored.
Yep, I mean, it's amazing.
This is a shot. First base, you know it's coming right into your body on that hop. So the only move that you have is to take a step back and try to read it. If you don't take a step back, it's going to eat you up.
.105 miles an hour off the bat of Brennan Hudson. So leadoff man on again for Colby Branch. Branch has homered and walked. Senior from Lucas, Texas. His family has a very busy weekend because Colby's younger brother Kyle is playing for Oklahoma in the Super Regional against Kansas. And then their third brother was playing a couple of days ago in a state final, high school baseball in Texas. So Colby making the rounds. Mom Carrie in there as well. They got a lot of baseball to attend. Branch on a line to left into the corner, and that is off the wall. Hudson on his way to third. Branch doubles. Second and third for Georgia with nobody out.
Well, breaking news on this one. Don't elevate a breaking ball to Colby Branch. He had a home run his first time up on a hanging breaking ball. He gets another hanging breaking ball here and just barely misses another one. Boy, that ball is sitting right in the heart of the plate, just about belt high. He recognized the spin right away and puts a barrel on it. And here comes Georgia again, second and third, and nobody out here in the 5th inning.
Every inning so far has been a high-stress inning for Mississippi State's pitching. Runners in scoring position, the bottom of the order continuing to put pressure on Mississippi State's pitching.
Justin Parker is out for a visit. And while we got a moment, we remind you that ESPN's the home of MLB.tv. You can stream every out-of-market game live or on demand using the ESPN app. Blackout and other restrictions apply. For more info, go to ESPN.com/MLBTV. Breaking balls pounded by Colby Branch. First 2 on in front of Ryan Black in the 9th spot. He's walked, scored, and struck out. Duke Stone came on in relief in the 2nd, approaching 60 pitches and outside the start.
And again, Mississippi State will play the middle infield back. Corners are in. And some action in that Mississippi State bullpen. Looks like the left-hander Maddox Miller.
Talented freshman who's had a good season.
With a really good changeup.
Ball and a strike on Ryan Black from Grand Prairie, Texas. Yesterday in Game 1 had a 2-run double in the 4th inning. And it gave Georgia life. He went around 1 and 2. What do you guys think?
No chance.
It didn't look like it from here. Now we'll see the side view in a second. Did he go? A little bit closer than what I thought it was. That one wasn't as egregious as the one we saw earlier.
Yeah, that's true. Still 0 for 2 over there in the corner.
And Black can't hold up. Nasty breaking ball to the back foot from Duke Stone for a massive first out.
Big time pitch right there. Runners on 2nd and 3rd, nobody out. And once Duke Stone got the 2 strikes, he's thinking one thing: how can I get a swing and a miss? And you can't throw a breaking ball down and in any better than that right there.
Well, here comes Trey Phelps in his return to the lineup post-suspension. He's been hit by a pitch, and he's walked, and he has struck out on a slider his last time against Stone.
Well, you heard Coach O'Connor say, look, there's a lot of runs to be scored here with these 2 high-powered offenses. But still, really surprised, even with 1 out right now, runners at 2nd and 3rd, that the middle part of the infield is not playing.
I agree.
This part of the game, the stakes of the season, the deficit, all of it.
Right, and there's a brilliant play. You can start him back, and as soon as Stone gets set, you can have both middle infielders who are playing on the pull side. You can have them crash in, and it'll mess up Phelps' approach as well.
On the ground, right at short, and so Ryder Woodson has to go to first with it, and a run scores because the middle infield was back.
And that ball was hit hard now. We don't know if he would have been able to handle it or not, but right at him. And you can see the run there, and you're trusting your offense to score 5 runs. But he could have still gone home right here.
Yeah.
But mentally, he's thinking there's no way. But he could have easily, with Hudson and not too much of speed, coming down the line from 3rd to home.
Yeah, because when you push them back, you're telling your middle infielder to get the out at first base. Anytime they push you back, they're telling you, okay, ground ball to you, the out is at first base.
But with that exit velocity,
a chance.
Just about 100 miles an hour off Phelps' bat. So run in, man still at 3rd, and Colby Branch for Daniel Jackson. He's made loud contact today. His last 2 times. The line out to short, 113 miles an hour off his bat, and then a fly out to right. It was tagged too.
I mean, think about what the Georgia offense has done today. 2 sac flies and 2 ground outs to push runs home. And you talk about the situational hitting and how to get runs home. That's 4 at-bats, netted 4 runs without a base hit. We talk a lot about their home runs, and we should, because they blow the ball out of the ballpark. But the situational hitting for Georgia is outstanding as well.
A strikeout there for Duke Stone to limit the damage. Another leadoff base runner comes around and scores. Georgia's lead is 5 halfway through. Time now for Working on a Win, presented by the Home Depot.
Caden Aoki has been working it for Georgia, man. He's been very unpredictable. I love the two-seam fastball. He's found a little extra room on the outside part of the plate. He's used it to his advantage, but the curveball's been good. The changeup's been good, and that two-seam fastball has been outstanding. The key for him today, he has not allowed a walk today. No walks, 6 punch-outs. The only mistake he made was a hanging breaking ball to Kevin Maluski, who hit it for a 2-run homer. Other than that, he has been really good for Georgia.
And that was on a 1-2 count. Keeps getting ahead of the hitters. Strike one with his stuff. He needs to get it, and he's getting it.
And punched out the side in the last inning, too.
Part of 7 in a row set down. With 4 strikeouts in that stretch. 8-9-1 for Mississippi State. Starts with Kevin Maluski swinging through the breaking ball.
And that breaking ball's got some late depth to it.
Maluski pumped it on the curveball that was hung that you mentioned his first time. 427 feet. Only 2 runs for Mississippi State. Now they get 2. Daniel Jackson's the catcher for Caden Aoki. And he says few guys can match Aoki's presence on the mound, where you're just so confident Aoki's going to hit his spot every time. And Jackson has said that it's fun to catch because he feels like he's working on his glove work with Aoki.
And I'll say this, an observation with Maluski as well at the plate. Home run on a 1-2 count. The one thing he does, he pounds his chest with 2 strikes, and then he chokes up on the bat. And we've already seen 2 home runs of his with 2 strikes, both with the bat choked up.
Skies this one. Shallow right center. Rylan Lujo, hatless, puts it away for the first down. Well, Bryce Chance is coming up, and he's hoping to continue his college career. Walk-on who always dreamt of playing for State. And this Diamond Dog had an amazing send-off in the regional final in Starkville last weekend, where he was brought to tears in his final moments.
That's so good.
And look at this. Said there's still work left to be done, but what a dream this was. And to host a regional for the first time in his career and share it with everyone on this team.
Stark Vegas is a special place, and they have special fans. And the truth is, when Mississippi State is making deep runs in college baseball, the game is just better. That fan base is a different kind of fan base. They love their baseball.
It's a guy in Bryce Chance who, when he was first seriously recruited by Mississippi State, former assistant Jake Gautreaux had reached out. And Bryce Chance looked at his phone, didn't have the number, and was so moved that Jake Gautreaux was reaching out, and so surprised he had to confirm with a high school teammate that it was actually Jake Gautreaux's phone number. That's how badly he wanted to be a part of Mississippi State. And it was Jake Gautreaux's phone number. They really did want him. He walked on, and he's been a starter basically for 4 years. He had an infield single his first time. Stays alive.
Gets on that plate. Does whatever he can to put the ball in play. He's got to be careful now with Aoki with that back door. 2-seamer has already gotten 2 strikeouts looking on it.
Aoki has found himself a little bit of extra room on that glove side.
What do you call it? The shadows?
The shadow zone. A little extra.
Pitchers love it. Hitters don't. Caden Aoki's ready with a 1-2 to Bryce Chance. Trying to go there.
There it was, right there.
But here's the difference. He's able to execute because of the way he pitches and the command that he has. He can take advantage of, if I'm going to get a little extra out there, I'm good enough to keep hitting that spot out there. There's a lot of pitchers, what I call them throwers instead of pitchers, they can't consistently get the ball out there. It's more about challenging the white part of the plate.
Bryce Chance is in some discomfort after that foul.
He's had that protector on it the entire time. This at-bat, he has not put it on.
I'm not saying this is what it is. We're certainly not speculating, but you do see so many more hamate injuries nowadays with hitters on just kind of like odd foul balls, odd swings even.
Well, Andy will tell you this. There's a lot of hitters out there that will take the knob of the bat and they'll stick it in their bottom hand. The knob goes right there where that hamate bone is in there, and some hitters like that feel. And I don't see the knob sticking out. He may be one of those guys, and sometimes when you swing, the knob of that bat can get into your hand a little bit. You see it more on check swings? Were you a knob in the hand bat kind of guy?
Back in the day.
Yeah.
Back in the day, it used to be the knob until Hall of Famer Red Shandies in St. Louis asked me, he goes, how many home runs do you have? I said, I have 4. This was early in the season. He said, what were the counts? I said, one was a 3-2, 2 were 1-2, and one was a 2-2. What do you do different with 2 strikes? I said, I choke up. I said, you know, the best hitter in baseball at that time was Barry Bonds. Chokes up.
Yeah.
Why don't you do it? And ever since, I did it. And it changed my career for the better. Consistency. Knowing where the bat head was at all times.
Strike 3 called on the hook from Caden Aoki, who's fan 7.
Well, spin them if you got them. And Caden Aoki is spinning that breaking ball today, folks. This one to the front door. You can see where Daniel Jackson was set up. He was set up to the outside part of the plate, but this one works just as good. He shakes his head, says, yes, sir, that's another one.
That's the second strikeout looking on that breaking ball where Daniel Jackson was set up away, and he still gets the inside part.
That's what you call a good miss.
I think you think of backup breaking balls maybe more on sliders, but a couple that have maybe just slightly backed up on curveballs from Aoki.
I think it's where he's starting it, and he wants to start that breaking ball more over the center part of the plate and have it drift to the outside edge. But a few times he started the breaking ball kind of inside, and it's really a good pitch if you can perfect it. Because, again, a hitter gives up on it when it's inside.
Garrick Fry beats one into the turf, and Ryan Wynn kicks it, flips it, and doesn't get Garrick Fry. 2-out base runner for State, down by 5.
That's another error now for Georgia, and that's the one thing that they're going to have to clean up a little bit. Could have been out of the inning. Going into that dugout with 89 pitches, now you're forcing Aoki to throw more pitches, coming in, hustling down the line, forcing that error.
And again, this Georgia defense has been outstanding all year long. That's 4 errors now in 2 games. We'll see if Mississippi State can take advantage of that. They got their dude at the plate, and Ace Reese.
Who popped to short his first time and then struck out swinging on a curveball from Aoki. Swings through the breaking ball.
Hasn't been able to figure out that curveball of his. Best thing you can do with it is try to recognize and take it. My old hitting coach Hal McRae told me one time, can't hit it, don't swing at it.
Problem is, you got to be able to identify it, not to swing at it. And that's the problem.
Case in point.
What does spin look like for a hitter?
That dot. It's either a real solid red dot or even an open circle that once you see the hump, and you said it earlier, Ben, you're trained to anticipate where it's going to fall in.
But what makes Aoki special is a high spin rate curveball.
Sharply from Reese in the right center field, base hit. Garrick Fry first to third. State's got him at the corners with 2 outs in the 5th.
Giving good teams extra outs, they'll make you pay. And let's not forget, this is the 3rd time now around the order for Aoki facing this lineup, and they're going to make their adjustments. They didn't make it the second time around. They went 0 for 9 with 5 Ks second time around, but this time they're going to be focused, and Wes Johnson understands that clearly, especially with this high potent offense.
.89 pitches from Caden Aoki. Nobody up in the bullpen, so Wes Johnson pays a visit before a massive moment in this game.
Yeah, I like this visit right here by Wes Johnson. Just come out and just calm him down just a little bit. You make one good pitch for me here, and let's get off the field. And that's kind of the message right now. But going back to Aoki, what makes him so good, a high spin rate curveball. It almost looks like a fastball to a hitter, even though it's spinning end over end, but the spin is so tight, it's hard for hitters to be able to pick up the spin. And I think we talked about his spin rate, well over 2,700 on the breaking ball. Big league average about 2,600. So because it's spinning so tight, it almost, you can't really tell as a hitter, is it spinning forward or is it spinning backwards, and that's why he gets a lot of swings and misses.
A man in scoring position here for the number 3 hitter, Noah Sullivan. 2 for 12 in game 1 with runners in scoring position. Hard contact in 2 trips for Sullivan today, including a double in the first. First pitch swinging against the curveball.
Let's not forget when we had the interview with Coach O'Connor, he said we're looking for that 3-run homer.
Yeah.
Right now, he's on that bench, and he's looking for one of his best hitters, Noah Sullivan, to give him that 3-run homer.
And this is where Mississippi State has made their hay this year. We talked about them hitting runners in scoring position, the second best in the country in these situations. They're hitting .358 as a team.
0-2.
As a hitter, cannot forget about that backdoor 2-seam fastball. You have to cover away and just defend in.
Caden Aoki's 0-2. He's down and Sullivan resisted. All breaking balls, the first 3 pitches to Noah Sullivan.
And they're decision-making pitches, too. He gets them so close with 2 strikes. A lot of guys that waste pitches on 0-2, 1-2, nowhere near the strike zone. The hitters don't make a hitter want to make a decision to swing, but when you throw it that close.
The 1-2. And Sullivan lays off again. So another decision in his favor. Runs it back to 2-2.
Every pitch has been away. Every pitch has been away.
saying.
Sullivan is set up right now to be looking away the entire time. If he does, and he hasn't done it in the entire game, go hard in, I think he freezes him.
I do too. He just hadn't tried to do it yet.
2 on, 2 out, 5th inning. 2-2. Got him!
Wow. Caden Aoki, show him who you are, kid. And I tell you who he is right now. He's a guy that is pitching a gem for Georgia so far.
First time in program history for Georgia in an NCAA tournament game that they score in each of the first 5 innings. Pair that with Caden Aoki, things are going good for Georgia. This is our side of the bracket, the right side, where Texas got a big win late last night against Oregon thanks to Dylan Volantis doing Dylan Volantis things. Oklahoma 1 win away from a return to Omaha. Same goes for Alabama. And the same goes for Georgia. Game 2, best of 3 super regionals around the country. 3 of the 8 spots already locked in for Omaha. Rylan Lujo leads off 3, 4, and 5. This is the 3rd time through against this group for Duke Stone. Falls behind Lujo 2-0.
Yeah, Duke Stone has to find a way to start stacking some zeros.
Well, this could be the last hitter for him as well. You got 3 out of the next 4 are left-handed hitters. You got Miller in the bullpen getting loose.
Lujo tags it to center. And Bryce Chance strips back with room.
First time.
First out.
First time. Leadoff hitter for Georgia is out.
You just can't breathe when Georgia's offense gets in gear immediately.
No.
Now he buys himself another hitter because of it.
So he gets one of those lefties. Michael O'Shaughnessy.
O'Shaughnessy, 5 runs driven in, 2 home runs yesterday, both off left-handed pitching.
Fist this one left side. Blooper territory, but Ryder Woodson runs it down from short for out number 2, and maybe Duke Stone ekes out another inning for Mississippi State. I like this walk-up music for Kenny Ishikawa.
Yeah.
Shazam this. Hang tight. Two outs, base is empty. Se acabó. Featuring Method Man.
Say that again?
Se acabó. Am I saying that right, Eduardo?
It's over.
That's not on my playlist.
It's over. Se acabó. It's over.
That's what that means?
By the Beatnuts, according to Shazam, if you believe that.
Okay. All right.
That's what we do. We Shazam songs live.
I can't believe you still have that app.
It's a great app.
It really is.
I think it stands the test of time. 1-1.
I'm still just impressed that Big Ben can see out of his left eye.
What is it just about my left lens? The right one is not clouding up at all, but the left one on my glasses has no chance.
Big Ben's glasses in the booth are fogging up. We're so toasty up here.
Yeah, it's humid.
We should actually go to break with your the visuals.
Ishikawa stays alive. There they are. It's the left one that's foggy.
Yeah. Need some
Pretty impressive.
Some of that anti-fog stuff.
Ben had so much coffee today, and myself too. We're perspiring a little bit.
Yeah.
Got to be ready for playoff baseball. Anywho, the 1-2. Ishikawa spoils another.
This is what he does. Gets that pitch count up. Just takes quality at-bats, and it doesn't matter even if he makes an out or not. Just the ability. Sometimes you just throw it down the middle. 2 home runs on the season. Throw it down the middle. Just get out of the way and let me go to the next guy.
It's the lowest whiff rate on the team, and I'm worried he's going to pull a muscle every time he sees one in the turf.
Those are Soto takes right there. No shuffle towards the pitcher, but you see him laughing about it, too.
It's kind of like a bowling move where you kick out the back leg to the side.
Yeah.
It's like Pete Weber.
Yeah.
They're not playing there too much.
This was the last take. You guys with me on this bowling theory? Kick out that back leg.
Remember when Soto did the Soto shuffle to Zach Greinke? And Zach Greinke just kind of buzzed the tower, and Soto never did it again to Greinke.
Kenny Ishikawa has seen 27 pitches in his 4 trips. Short right, Garrett Fry puts it away. Who do you think you are? I am. Jacob Parker coming up for Mississippi State, who's got work to do.
The inning, se acabó. Let's go.
You guys are putting me out of business.
I only like the reads that have short words in them. And if you throw a picture in there with it every now and then, it helps as well.
Bottom of the 6th inning, game 2 of this best of 3 super regional. And it's go time right now for Mississippi State. 4, 5, and 6. As they got 12 outs left to play with in their season. Down by 5. Superstar freshman Jacob Parker leads off. He has struck out and has a fly out to left against Caden Aoki, who's at 95 pitches.
Different looks every time. Different way to start. A first pitch to each hitter. Sometimes they guess fastball.
Just unpredictable. And that's what's made him the best. That and the fact he hadn't walked anybody. No free passes. 8 strikeouts for Aoki.
Nothing in 2 on Parker.
And a ton of first pitch strikes, too. And that is a recipe for success.
First 3 innings, first time around the order, a lot of 2-seam fastballs. Hitters okay, they're thinking, is he going to stick with the 2-seamer up by 5? Now he's changing it up. 3rd time through the order.
0-2. No chase there from Parker.
I think that's one of the few non-competitive pitches that he's thrown. Right out of the hand, you knew that one didn't serve a purpose.
I'm going to tell you why it's so important to get ahead. These are the best hitters in the world, the big league average. Big league average, when hitters are ahead in the count, they hit 331. When they're behind in the count, they hit 190. And in any two-strike count in Major League Baseball, hitters are hitting 163. So you show that to pitchers and you go, this is how important it is to get ahead. Can you get ahead? And he has done it 18 out of 22 times. Caden Aoki has thrown a first pitch strike. So always look at pitching as not defense. Pitching to me is offense. It's putting the hitter on the defense right away and going and getting ahead and then begin to expand the zone. And he has done a wonderful job of that today.
2-2. Parker rolls it gently at second. Ryan Wynn handles this time, and there's one away.
I agree with 100% everything that Ben says. Now, he's the only one, because he was a pitcher, that can make pitching offensive. Right?
It's about attacking. I just think it's offense, it's attacking. And look, I get it in a ballpark like this with these two offenses, it's hard to be aggressive because if you know you make a mistake, it's going in the trees. I mean, that's what happens in this ballpark. But this is a young man on the mound. We talked about it. He's a little bit older. He's 23 years old. He's been in the fire a lot of times. He's over 300 career innings pitched now at the collegiate level, and he just knows who he is and what he does best.
His 100th pitch backs up to Vitas Valencias after Aoki last week threw 103 pitches against Liberty. The season high in pitch count for Aoki this year is 105. About 2 months ago in Fayetteville against the Razorbacks.
Safe to say this is going to be his last inning.
Valencia struck well, right field at the wall and got. Solo shot Oppo for Vitas Valencias. And a much needed lightning bolt for State.
Reverse splits for Vitas. Hits righties better. We've already seen him take that approach right back up the middle earlier with 2 strikes. This time just gives in and hits the ball towards right field. A lot more forgiving. Not a bad pitch. Down and away, but he sticks with it. Hits it right over the fence.
That's what you call eliminating the inside part of the plate, like we've been talking about, looking for something on the outer part.
See the reaction from Caden Aoki. That's a 344-foot home run. This ballpark giveth and taketh, and a very nice backside swing from Vitas Valencias. And Aoki had fallen behind, a rarity, 1-0. So, 4-run margin. Aoki nearing the end as he faces Reed Stallman, who has a fly out to center and then a strikeout swinging on a sinker after Stallman had run it full. 0-2. Stallman's going to get time here. Well, he does. We remind you that NCAA Super Regional coverage continues this weekend here on ESPN and then also on ESPN2U and Plus. Visit NCAA.com, the home for all NCAA championships. Games all over the place. USC and North Carolina after us, half hour away, starting on ESPN. Alabama and St. John's at 4 Eastern on E2. 0-2. Stallman resists. It's a guy in Reed Stallman who apparently had a little bit of angst about the new coaching staff taking over and if Stallman would have a spot on this team. Brian O'Connor said this, I was 100% certain I wanted him back. He's had a great season. 1-2 to him. Stallman on the line into center field, a base hit. He squares up Caden Aoki. Man aboard for Mississippi State, stirring here in the 6th.
Well, the approach has changed for Mississippi State, and they've been seeing what we've been seeing too, and that's a lot of balls to the outside part of the plate. Get a backside home run by Malinkas. Gets it out toward right center field. And this is a really good move on a fastball on the outer third of the plate. Reed Stallman just kind of leans out there and finds the barrel.
All right, he's on uncharted territory right now. That was the 108th pitch, and Wes Johnson believing in the man on the mound right now.
Well, he has earned the right to stay in for sure.
Ryder Woodson cuts through the first one, and it caroms away from Daniel Jackson. So Reed Stallman's in scoring position. And if you're Wes Johnson, how do you handle this? 4-run lead, Aoki nearing the end, but some hard contact here that's been loud in the sixth.
Well, Eddie said it best. He's an uncharted waters. He went 103 twice this year to Aoki. You see where he is right now. He's at 106, and this very well could be his last battle. And if he gets this out, he'll probably stay in and try to get through 6. It feels like if this batter reaches, it could be the end of the day for Caden Aoki.
Ahead of Woodson again, 0-2. Aoki has frozen him twice with backwards Ks already. The career high in pitches for Caden Aoki is 117. Last year with USC. 108. Woodson lays off.
Woodson's so good on anything middle in. Not as good middle away, but this is where you have to now make that adjustment at the plate. Don't be afraid to get jammed. You have to be able to cover the outside part of the plate.
Caden Aoki steps off. He's just never been hurried at all today. Going at his pace, trying to dictate. But State's offense has stirred in the sixth. 1-2. Woodson again laying off a wave of breaking balls.
He's going to stay out there too.
I'm with you. I mean, if I'm in the batter's box right now, I'm looking middle away. I'm going out there. I'm diving out there to get it. If he throws a two-seam fastball and paints the inside part of the plate, you just tip the cap and go back to the dugout. But he has not made an attempt one time today to throw a fastball in.
2-2. Lays off another one away. The count's full, and the man on deck has homered 3 times in the last 30 hours, including a 2-run shot in the second today from Kevin Maluski off Aoki. The payoff pitch. Woodson spoils it to stay alive.
Leaning on that breaking ball.
Does he maintain the quality of his breaking ball, would you say, this late into the outing?
Yeah, I mean, you look at the spin rate on that, nearly 2,800 RPMs. He's still spinning it good. He's still got a nice shape to it. And not afraid to throw it 3-2. We have seen it several times today.
Three-two again. Oh. On the edge, paint piece. 2 down. Wow.
That's as big as it gets right there, folks. A lot of breaking balls and a backdoor two-seamer, and I'm going to tell you what, you can't throw it any better than that right there. 9th punch out of the day for Caden Aoki. That's big time.
The 3 looking on the outside corner, and that should be it for Caden Aoki.
You know how badly Caden Aoki wants one more. But at 112 pitches, and for a program with designs of a season extending a couple more weeks, here comes Wes Johnson.
He hasn't signaled yet to the bullpen.
No.
And he knows this will be his last opportunity to pitch here at Foley Field.
And sometimes head coaches just want to go out there. They want to look the pitcher in the eye. I want to look at you, and I want to see what you're saying and what you look like. And you want the ball, and you want to stay in there. And I love this. I love this by Wes Johnson. Your dude has twirled a gem today. He has earned the right to stay in the ball game. And I'm sure the words were, "You got one more in you?" And he said, "Yes, sir, I got one more in me."
Wes Johnson calls Caden Aoki Doc because he's got a doctor's precision on the mound. 23-year-old, fifth-year senior who has been surgical again today, but faces his toughest test in Kevin Milewski, who crushed one earlier against him, 427 feet. First pitch, breaking ball, cut on and miss.
And Aoki knows this is his last hitter either way. And this is about emptying the tank. Whatever you got left in the tank right now, it's got to be below empty when this at-bat is done.
Nothing in two. This was the second on a hanging curveball.
Yeah, one of the few mistakes right there. You can see where that ball was. But it really is a good move to the ball because that ball wasn't even in the strike zone.
Caden Aoki is ready. With an 0-2. No chase from Kevin Milewski.
Boy, he's lucky he wasn't a left-handed hitter.
A ball and 2 strikes on Kevin Milewski. It's State threatening, and Aoki trying to slam the door shut in the 6th. One, two. Just off the edge. What a take from Milewski.
It's a great take. Right now, your approach as a right-handed hitter against Kevin Aoki has to be up and away. It's the only way that you're going to be able to swing the bat if he decides to throw that two-seam fastball backdoor to try to freeze you.
Milewski against Aoki. Aoki's had 3 stops in college, 5 years. It's the best he's ever thrown it in his 1 year here with Georgia. His 2-2. Full count on Kevin Milewski. And now, where does Aoki go?
We're going backdoor two-seamer here?
Well,
or we're going to spin another one?
I think he's going to spin another one, and if he does foul, he'll do the same thing he did to Woodson. This is the 5th time it goes to a 3-2 count.
A new career high in pitches on this one from Caden Aoki. 3-2. Off the edge. What a plate appearance from Kevin Milewski. Tying run to the on-deck circle for Mississippi State.
Wes Johnson in top step wondering now, do I go get him? Those were quality pitches right there. Worked at the 3-2. Might give him another chance. It's a Bryce chance.
How about this breaking ball? This ball stayed in the zone a long time. And an outstanding take right there by Milewski.
Good call by Brian Marine behind the plate as well.
And Wes Johnson's going to stick with Caden Aoki. Bryce Chance, the 5th-year senior leader for State. 2 on, 2 out. He's off the first one as he gets a 3rd look at Caden Aoki. Had an infield single, then he rolled the 3rd into 2nd, and then he struck out looking on an Aoki curveball his last time in the 5th. Bryce Chance, who has been excellent back to ball. He has the lowest swing and miss rate of any hitter in the SEC. Takes an E-high strike, and one of the rare times Aoki's come to the inner half.
Velo's dropping just a little bit, but that two-seam fastball still got a lot of depth to it, a lot of horizontal to it.
The hinge point in this game. 1-1. Chance on the line, left field base hit. Stolen third. Ishikawa's throw does not get him. And Mississippi State's within 3.
He's got to go get him now.
Oh, yeah.
He has to, and he is going to. What a piece of hitting by Bryce Chance. He gave him a strike and then pitched up. Just barrels it and keeps the line moving for Mississippi State, who has been relentless in this inning with their at-bats.
And for maybe the last time in Athens, Caden Aoki walks off the mound in Foley Field. Chris Runes, thank you. That's going to be a good one. In the meantime, this is a great one. Caden Aoki departs after a career high 121 pitches. But now Mississippi State brings the tying run to the plate against the sinker baller Zach Brown.
Zach Brown had a really good year so far. 2.80 ERA, 35 and a third, 37 strikeouts. Opponents hitting just 2.05 off the right-hander, Brown.
Garrett Fry, first pitch swinging. Kenny Ishikawa drifts in. And Zach Brown's out of dodge. 2 left aboard for Mississippi State in the 6th, down by 3 against Georgia. 4 more games still to come today. Buds and Runes told you Caden Glauber's on the bump next year on ESPN. That game will likely start on ESPN2. Then it's Alabama, 1 win away. Same goes for Oklahoma and Texas out of the SEC later on. Right now we're in game 2, top of the 7th inning in Athens, Georgia, Foley Field. And Duke Stone, who came into this game back in the 2nd inning in relief of the starter Ryan McPherson.
Such a big inning for him. State went out and put 2 on the scoreboard. They were in 3 now. Up to him to put a 0 on the scoreboard if he can. Mississippi State's got a couple of guys warming up, a lefty and a righty in that bullpen. It's going to be a short leash.
Yeah, they've been double barreling for the last inning as well, for a few innings.
If you're just joining us, Duke Stone is the starter, so he's fully stretched out, coming off 6 shutout last weekend. He gets Ryan Wynn to pop to Reed Stallman for an efficient first out in the 7th. Brings up Brennan Hudson, who hit one on a laser beam to right center, his 2nd AB in the 3rd.
The fastball up, flattens out that bat path. And boy, has he not missed many fastballs from right-handed pitchers this season.
You mentioned the splits earlier. This guy has hammered right-handed pitching. And how would you like to have 21 home runs on 44 hits? Money's worth. It is elite strike zone discipline. One of the 5 lowest chase rates in the SEC. So how often do you swing at a pitch that is outside the strike zone? Among the best in the SEC with the likes of Dom Decker at Ole Miss, who, by the way, is going to Omaha 2 years in a row with 2 different teams. Murray State last year, Ole Miss this year for Dom Decker. Hudson backside, well struck. Valencius with room for out number 2.
You hold your breath when the ball gets in the air here. That ball was off the end of the bat. That didn't even catch the barrel. Wind just gently blowing out.
We're told that the few days before we arrived here in Athens that the wind was blowing in.
Hearsay.
Georgia players said that to us.
Hearsay.
Maybe just a bad round to BP. Definitively not blowing in these last 2 days.
No.
Well, to their defense, yesterday, the balls that were hit, 73% of them were hit 95 miles per hour or harder. And that was against really good pitching.
Yes. Feed this tree. That is a new sign that they put on that tree for Super Regionals. 1 and 2 on Colby Branch. By the way, it's pretty cool out there on Kudzu Hill. If you've been watching the last 2 days wondering about that area, They got a QR code, you see, up on the tree. They just ask for donations for charity if you're going to come out there and enjoy the game.
They're watching from everywhere here. If you look way out in left center field, the parking garage, there's people in the parking garage way out there watching the ball game. You got them up on the hill in right field, out in left center field. They're a ways away, but they can still see over the trees.
Yeah, how about that?
What trees are actually left?
Well, trees, woodpeckers rode on overfed.
There's not a pine cone on one of those trees out there. They've all been knocked off.
And Branch skies one, parking lot. Come on.
Well, right on cue.
How about Colby Branch, huh? On base all 4 times today. 2 long balls, a double, and a base on ball. When Georgia gets 1 of the 2 runs back they gave up, Colby Branch's 19th long ball of the year, his 58th RBI, and the lead now for Georgia is at 4.
Solo shot with 2 outs. Getting the first 2 hitters out. Stone thinking he was going to get out of it. Not yet.
So a 2-homer game for Colby Branch. Ryan Black vaults one to deep center. But Bryce Chance circles. And Duke Stone gets through the 7. Sour power going on the last few months for this Georgia team. Colby Branch gets in on the act for the 2nd time today. Welcome back to the NCAA Baseball Super Regionals presented by Capital One. Georgia is 1 win away from Omaha. Mississippi State is trying to force a winner-take-all Game 3 tomorrow. You can recap the game. You can summarize the game. We can tell you that Brennan Hudson and Colby Branch have combined for 3 home runs. And Mississippi State, the 2nd time through, struggled against Caden Aoki.
Yeah, you're in the partner lineup with Mississippi State here in the 7th, and they got 9 outs to work with. And you're going to go right through 2, 3, and 4. It just feels like they got to put a run or 2 on the scoreboard here in this inning right now.
Starting with Ace Reese, 1 for 3, popped to short, strikeout swinging on an Aoki curveball. And then a mashed single in the 5th. And he's down 0-2 against Zach Brown.
Zach Brown's got a really good sinking 2-seam fastball, a little slider, more of a sinker slider guy, occasional changeup.
Super smart pitcher. We're talking with assistant head coach Will Coggin, who said this kid is sharp and he is an A+ teammate. His 0-2. Up and away to Reese. Well, this is what you want if you're State. Ace Reese, Noah Sullivan, and Jacob Parker trying to save a season. 1-2. Outside. The 2-2. Reese skies this one. Wow. Way back in right field. Goodbye. Oh, my goodness. Oh, that is 3/4 all the way up the trees.
I'm going to tell you.
Leaves falling, too, right there on that one.
They say only 30% of people believe in UFOs. But after that, I think that number just went up a click or 2.
Oh, I'm sorry, but that was identified.
Yeah. No, that went so far, nobody even knows where it went.
Well, it came off the races from Zach Brown's hand. My goodness, he knew it. The bench knew it. They get that run back.
Watch this. You'll see it drop.
The ball drop. And right after, the leaves coming down.
That thing hit 3/4 away up that oak tree out there.
I mean, that's silly.
You're going to give them up. That's the way you give them
No,
up.
I agree. I don't like the wall scrapers when I'm on the bump. If you're going to get it, get all of it. And he got all of that.
So a 3-run ball game again. Noah Sullivan, right center field, way back to the wall, back to back. Tanks for State.
That's a way to get two back in a hurry. Get the Mississippi State fans up. And Noah Sullivan, who has been that type of professional hitter the entire season. The ability to hit for power the other way, and at the same time, high contact rate, getting a lot of belief back in that dugout.
Watch him let this two-seam fastball just travel. Let it get deep. The hands go first, a barrel behind it, and you talk about a dart out toward right center field. Noah Sullivan's 13th long ball of the year, his 46th RBI, folks. And we got a ball game here.
407 feet for Noah Sullivan.
Zach Brown shocked.
Saw Ace Reese chatting with the next bats, ready to come up for Mississippi State about Zach Brown, who's only thrown 8 pitches to the 3 batters he's faced. And here's the superstar freshman Jacob Parker. First pitch swinging against Brown.
No relation to the band, Zach Brown, or
Zach Brown band?
The American Driver as well. Now with McLaren. I know a lot more about F1 than I used to.
Zach Brown, the righty's 0-1. Parker strikes it well! Left center field! 1-run game!
Man, what is going on?
That ball tracked at 445 feet. Barreled, and he knew it.
To the backside of the field, 445.
This kid is going to be a beast in the SEC.
Are you kidding me? Back to back to back long balls. That'll get Wes Johnson out of that Georgia dugout. Hey, now watch this swing here. Again, let it travel, let it get deep, and put a barrel on it. And Zach Brown knew it, and so did Jacob Parker. As soon as he touched it, a little back fit, folks. And Mississippi State is getting all over Georgia here in the 7th inning.
That bat flip, a gift coming to maroon and white Twitter in moments. Post Caden Aoki, Mississippi State mashing 3 swings that trimmed the gap to 1 in the 7th. It's the first time since 2022 Mississippi State goes back to back to back.
Yeah, and they were absolutely barreled. There wasn't one home run that just barely scraped the wall.
No, and leave it up to your All-American, too, and Ace Reese, who got the party started with the first one. And now Georgia will turn to Matt Scott, the senior, all 6'7" of him. Matt Scott making his 19th appearance of the year, 53 2/3. He can strike you out 67 of those. Opponents hitting .203 off the big right-hander, Scott.
A pitch yesterday in relief in game 1. And it didn't go great. He faced 4 batters. It was 15 pitches. He came on for Joey Bolchko, the starter, in the 6th. But it was a leadoff home run to Kevin Maluski, a lineout, a home run again to Garrick Fry, an infield single, and that was it for Matt Scott, the Stanford transfer, who's pitched very effectively this season for Georgia. He gets Venus Valencias to start. First pitch, chopper at Colby Branch, who shuffles the feet for out number 1. A quick programming note, if you are looking for game 3, winner take all, Southern Cal and North Carolina, it's going to start just one click over on ESPN2. And then when we're done, it'll continue here on ESPN. If you're just joining us now, picked a great time to join. Eduardo Perez, Ben McDonald, Mike Monaco, our whole crew with you. Game 2 in this best-of-3 super. Reed Stallman, the batter, takes strike 1 out of that high slot from Scott.
Yeah, a little over 7 feet he lets the ball go. You talk about the height. Fastball's going to be right in that 91 to 95 range. A couple different breaking balls and an occasional changeup.
0-1 to Reed Stallman is outside. A ball and a strike. We had 11 home runs in Game 1 yesterday. We've had 8 home runs in Game 2 today. 6 yesterday for Mississippi State. 5 today, and yet somehow only 7 runs on 5 home runs. How would you like to hit 11 home runs in the first 2 games of a Super, and so far nothing showing? First team since 2019 to hit 5+ homers in 3 straight tournament games. 2-1. Stallman cut through a hanger.
Well, we're getting what we thought we were going to get. You talk about 2 high-powered offenses.
Two. Backside liner foul from Reed Stallman. Two teams that you feel like can win the national championship.
Absolutely. They have the firepower offensively. And they also can have, and they also have the pitching, even though we haven't seen it in the last 2 days.
I mean, that was all the talk down on the Field 3 game, especially talking with the Mississippi State group, just how good these offenses are. And it really hasn't been that much about the ballpark these last 2 days. Laura, you said it. These last 3 home runs from State have been pure. 2-2. Stallman in on the hands. A little trickler behind the bag. So it's an infield single for Reed Stallman.
Usually the bloop comes before the blast. But after 3 blasts, you get the bloop now to get a runner on base. And now that's not only the tying run, but the go-ahead run is at the plate as well. With 2 strikes, that's exactly what you want to do. Get jammed. Don't be afraid of it with the spin. There's nothing Trey could do at third.
Now the go-ahead run coming to home plate.
In the form of Ryder Woodson. Sophomore shortstop 0 for 3 with 3 backwards Ks against Caden Aoki. And the first pitch in for strike 1 from Matt Scott.
Well, they stayed away the entire time off Woodson. You see that front hip of his, always fast twitch, looking for something middle in.
So Woodson just kind of firing too early?
Too early, and it's just that's where his strength has been the entire time. And it's just a lot of repetition that you're going to have to do, but it's fast twitch, thinking middle in, pull side. Not so much exit velocity going the other way.
1-1. Down 2-1 from Matt Scott. Matt Scott has put out fires this year, as recently as last Saturday night in the regional here in Athens to beat Liberty. They went to him in the 2nd inning of that game, and he went 5 innings, shutout, 1 hit in relief. 2-1. Woodson rolls over at short. Branch bobbles, and Woodson's aboard, and the throw gets away. Stallman to third, Woodson to second. Mississippi State in business.
Now, what is going on with this Georgia defense, man? One of the top defenses in the entire country. This is going to be their 5th error now in 2 games. That ball just kind of eats up the shortstop, Branch, and then it gets by the first baseman, Hudson. But now you got the go-ahead run in scoring position with just 1 out.
And it's sped up on Branch. This is where he's thinking, let's get 2 instead of 1. And because he's thinking 2, tried to attack it, then realized it was a little too late, then got in between. Instead of taking a great step back, immediately back, try to backhand it and at least get 1.
And 2 errors on the same play for Colby Branch, and now Wes Johnson comes out.
There's numbers, number 7 and 8 on the season. Boy, has this turned around in a hurry.
If you're just joining us, Georgia got 2 runs in the first, 2 in the second, added single runs in the third, fourth, fifth, and seventh. Mississippi State got a couple runs in the bottom of the sixth to stir, and they've now put up a 3 spot on those back-to-back-to-back Tom Emanski home runs to begin this bottom of the seventh.
And it looks like the Georgia defense will play back, so they will concede the tying run.
With Kevin Maluski in the box, 2-run homer his first time, a walk his last time. 3 big flies in 2 days here in Athens for him. Upstairs, ball 1 from Matt Scott, and this is low oxygen in Athens.
Let's not forget, Georgia is the visiting team here today. We're still playing that infield back, tying run at first. Plenty of time, especially the way this ballpark has played and the offenses have reacted.
Remember, Maluski went deep yesterday off Scott. Good pitch to hit there. It's a guy who's had a lot of swing and miss in him this season, but when he is on it, he's had a ton of power. Second and third, 1 out in the seventh. 1-1. Maluski cuts through it really tight there on the slider.
Now gets the 2 strikes. He'll choke up on the bat. And he's been a better hitter since he's done it. See just a little right there. Needs to put the ball in play to tie this game.
Boy, if you're Matt Scott, you need a strikeout right here and right now.
Here's 1-2. Down. And how good were Maluski's takes his last time when he ran it full in the 6th inning and then walked against Caden Aoki. That helped extend the inning. Bryce Chance then had an RBI single as Wes Johnson kept rolling with Caden Aoki. Now it's Matt Scott. 2-2 pitch. Maluski swings and misses and strikes out. Daniel Jackson caps the K. And Big Ben, he does get that strikeout for round number 2.
Yes, sir. Tying run just 90 feet away. And Matt Scott did exactly what he needed to do. He needed a big strikeout, and he got one. And now, can he finish? Can he get Georgia off the field right here with a 1-run lead?
That's picking up your defense right now for 1 out. But it's not over yet.
Well, in some ways, it's fitting that the man in the batter's box for Mississippi State is Bryce Chance. The only guy on the roster who was even playing 2 years ago for this same program. RBI single his last time. First pitch swinging at Colby Branch. He collects on target this time, and the inning's over.
That is big time.
However, Mississippi State is within 1 as they go back to back to back for the first time in more than 4 years. Whale of a ball game in Athens. Chris, Mike, we promise you we will be looking for that game, but not until our game is done, because how about this? I mean, these teams are meeting now for the 6th time this year. First 5 meetings decided by 10 total runs. All 5 of those games went to Georgia, and Wes Johnson trying to make it 6 to get to Omaha, and Brian O'Connor's team trying to force a winner-take-all game 3 tomorrow. And Tyler Pitzer comes up.
Yeah, Mississippi State will go to their second reliever of the day in the way of Tyler Pitzer. Solid ERA, 27 2/3. He can strike you out 35 of those. Opponents hitting just 192 off the right-hander, Pitzer.
His 4th appearance this year against Georgia. He's got the top of their order, starting with Trey Phelps, then Daniel Jackson, and then Rylan Lujo, all the stars for Georgia.
It is fastball, slider, heavy, with about 5% changeups.
It is one of the best swing and miss rates of any pitcher that Mississippi State has. And that's been a big jump this year for Pitzer. compared to his time at South Carolina, where he spent the last 2 seasons.
Yeah, that slider his, you just saw 43% swing and miss. That's a big time number. There it is again. D1 average on a slider right at 31% to kind of give you an idea.
It's an 89-mile-per-hour slider.
He will throw it about 37% of the time. So that is his out pitch.
Phelps fouls it off.
Surprisingly enough, righties have more contact against that pitch than left-handed hitters.
He's got well above average swing and miss on the fastball, too. 27%. D1 average on the fastball right at 18%.
Saw Justin Parker, the state pitching coach. Backup breaking ball.
There's your backup breaking ball you're talking about, Mikey. It's not on purpose, but when you throw it there, it works. Because, again, the hitter sees the spin. He thinks that spin's going to take this ball a little bit right to left, but watch this ball. It actually moves a little bit left to right.
So 1 away, and now Daniel Jackson. SEC Player of the Year, potential Golden Spikes Award winner. Ball 1 to start. 96 from Pitzer. You saw Justin Parker, the pitching coach for this Mississippi State team. He's got a long-standing relationship with Tyler Pitzer, going back to when Parker was the pitching coach at Indiana.
That's the ability when you're behind the count 1-0 to be able to throw that slider and land it for a strike.
2 ABs for Jackson against Pitzer this year, and Pitzer has struck him out both times. Hot and miss. I mean, just keep ripping him if you got him.
And if you can rip it and throw it right there, it is money. You may want to change the eye level, maybe a fastball out of the zone, up, and then go right back to the slider. But as good as the slider is, I would not be surprised if he goes right back to it again.
He does. Jackson tried to hold up, and apparently did without appeal.
And that is so close right there.
Two. And the crazy thing is, Eddie, you made this point to us, Tyler Pitzer's been better against lefties. And you're watching him here against righties and thinking, how do you do anything against the slider?
And right now, this 3-2 pitch most likely will be another slider.
The payoff. Just off the edge, Jackson walks.
Really good at bat, being able to spit on it. And now you have speed at first.
Daniel Jackson, 26 stolen bases, 26 for 28. Will he take a chance and take an extra 90 and get in scoring position?
Well, here's Rylan Lujo in the 3 spot. Smoked to double the left center to the wall in the 4th inning. Otherwise, a sac fly, a roller at short, and a fly out to center from the transfer from Dayton. On the ground to short at Ryder Woodson. Had to wait on the hop, so they just get 1. Tough to turn 2 on that. What do you got on that, Eddie?
First time seeing him today, swings at that first pitch once again and hits a ground ball right at the first baseman. I just think when I've seen Rylan, the more pitches he sees, the better he is at the plate. Didn't give his opportunity to his catcher to be able to try to get to second base in scoring position either.
That could be one of those ones where you go up there and you look slider and you get it and you feel like you have to swing at it, but it wasn't a very good pitch that you could drive. It was a really good slider on the outside part of the plate.
Kind of like Derek Fry going first pitch swinging the last half inning. Another appeal down to third.
Mississippi State fans that made the trip aren't happy with that call at third base. Like, oh, you had that in your bag?
They had a couple that didn't go their way on appeal down to third. As Michael O'Shaughnessy bats. Struck out earlier this season against Pitzer. Good stop back there by Maluski. That's a splitter, maybe.
Pitcher's not going to give in here. Even though you do have another lefty hitting behind, he understands that there are two bases open. And he's done really well against left-handed pitching as well.
You better be careful here.
Runner goes, and O'Shaughnessy fouls it off.
It's just an uncomfortable angle from where pitcher lets the release for that left-handed hitter to be able to find barrel on it.
Tyler Pitzer has only given up 2 hits to left-handed hitters all season.
37.1% K rate against the lefties.
O'Shaughnessy is hot right now.
Inside edge with a slider, 2-2. O'Shaughnessy, if you're just joining us, 2 monster home runs yesterday. Today, a single, a walk, and a sac fly. O'Shaughnessy fouls this one away.
How about Lujo right there stealing, and then because the third baseman is actually playing on the other side of the bag at second, there is nobody covering third. And that's going to be Pitzer's responsibility to get there if there is a stolen base attempt.
Two outs in the 8th inning. 2-2. O'Shaughnessy strikes out. Enormous work from Tyler Pitzer in the 8th inning.
That's what you call a shutdown inning with just a little bit of traffic. And Tyler Pitzer, a big-time breaking ball down in. Watch this ball disappear right where he wants to throw it, just down and in and just underneath the bat of O'Shaughnessy. State is off the field and down by 1.
Ace Reese, Noah Sullivan, Jacob Parker, 2, 3, and 4 in Mississippi State's lineup. All went deep last inning in the 7th. Down 1 to the 8th. Garrett Fry, the leadoff man against Matt Scott. Garrett Fry again going first pitch swinging like we saw him do in the 6th against Zach Brown when he came on and 2 aboard. One. Nothing at 2 from Matt Scott, who's pitching on back-to-back days for only the 2nd time this season. He also did it in Starkville 2 months ago against this Mississippi State squad.
Yeah, he only threw, 15 pitches yesterday.
His 20th today is an 0-2. Fry beats it in the ground. He fouled it off himself right at home plate. Mississippi State trying to get something going. They've got the momentum in this game. And again, if you're new to this, though, we are in Athens. Mississippi State in game 2, serving as the home team. Another 0-2 on the way. Scott to Fry. Last foul.
They've got to be careful with that one right there. Too good of a pitch on 0-2. Now the scouting report will tell you with him you have to elevate when you're ahead in the count. He's been uber aggressive early in counts. True to story. We've seen that.
Another 0-2. No chase. And we've talked about it for 2 days, guys, how good Mississippi State's 2-strike hitting has been.
I mean, look, they've hit .318 all year long as a team. That's how good it's been. 7th best mark in the NCAA.
Fry strikes out on 95, and there's one away.
Big out. Big out for a table setter right there with Fry at the plate, knowing the big boys are coming up.
This is just grip it and rip it right here. My best against yours. 4-seam fastball with a little hop to it.
So the base is empty for Ace Reese. 4 straight games with a big fly, including to lead off the last inning. Reese 1 for 4 this year against Matt Scott with a couple Ks. It's outside to start with the slider.
Ace Reese has been so consistent his 2 years on campus in Starkville. Last year, 21 long balls. This year, 24 of them now.
On the edge this time through the back door.
It's a great take. He's looking middle in. See those hips trying to get something to pull. And Scott stays on the outside corner.
He feels like a hitter totally locked into what he wants right now. 1-1. Outside, 2-1.
Trying to stay away, away, away. Making him earn it.
He's had an infield single yesterday against Matt Scott. 2-1. Rope into right. Into the corner for Ace Reese. And the tying run for Mississippi State is in scoring position.
Ace Reese just too good. And you stay one way with him and you stay on one side of the plate and he will make you pay for it. He's been a doubles machine, a home run machine, leads the SEC in extra base hits. He just goes out there and gets that slider just kind of spinning right in the heart of the plate and circles it. And now your tying run is in scoring position.
Yeah, but it's in scoring position for Noah Sullivan, who is one of their elite hitters as well. This 2-3 combo really difficult to get through.
Sullivan has doubled and homered already today. On the edge, strike 1 from Scott. To Sullivan, who Brian O'Connor's head coach told us is just your gritty, traditional college baseball DH who can mash balls out of the yard. 0-2. For all the home runs and all the runs scored by Mississippi State here in Athens, only 3 hits with runners in scoring position in this series. The 0-2. Sullivan strikes out and there's 2 away.
Well, he just stayed with the outside part of the plate. This slider, I'm going to tell you, it's almost bullet spin. You know, it doesn't have a lot of right to left. It's just got that kind of straight down action. More what we call a bullet spin slider. Traditional slider, a little bit of right to left in it from the right-hander. But that one just kind of sinks. It just kind of goes straight down.
Well, here's the stud freshman, Jacob Parker. With a swing you adore, Eddie, and a maturity everyone loves.
Complete balance, pitches away, goes the other way, knows it. This kid is going to be a beast and a nightmare for a lot of pitchers, including in the SEC.
I mean, you go 445 to the backside of the field. It's one thing to sneak it over the wall, right, to the backside, but 445, are you kidding me?
The 0-1. Parker tags it! Center field! State leads!
This is the best pure swing I've seen from a freshman. Advanced, can slow the game down, and is taking it all in, smiling around the bases.
Well, Mississippi State came in as one of the best teams in the country hitting with runners in scoring position, and they've been a little bit off in these 2 games, but there's your big base hit, and it's a 2-run shot with a runner in scoring position, and Mississippi State up 1 now in the bottom of the 8th, and watch this swing right here.
Straight away center, Not trying to pull, not trying to do too much, and gets rewarded for it and knows it.
How about the smile? How about the smile? He knew it when he touched it that one was leaving the yard.
Vitas Valencius at a sliding Colby Branch. Slick play to his feet, inning over, but how would you like to be Jacob Parker? Your season's on the line. You go 445 and then 431.
He hit a grand slam earlier in Stark Vegas, and this one way bigger, trying to keep the season alive.
Eduardo, you walked in here the other day, and before we even watched him take BP, you said you adored the swing of Jacob Parker. Why?
It's consistent. The bat head stays in the zone a long time, and the pitch recognition that he has and the ability to slow down a moment, it keeps getting better and better every day he plays.
20 home runs combined in 2 games of this Super Regional. 11 yesterday, 9 today in both games, in each of them. 6 from Mississippi State.
So Mississippi State's at 12 homers now in 2 games.
And each team has scored 21 runs in 2 games. I mean, this has been flat out banana land.
And it feels like it ain't over yet.
No.
Is what it feels like.
I agree.
Top of the 9th inning. Remember, Georgia is the road team, though we're here in Athens. And that's called the ball to Kenny Ishikawa, 3-0.
That's outside, and Ishikawa knows his role. He's going to take 2 pitches here. He understands how important it is to get a base runner on. Watch, he's on top of the plate right now.
Tyler Pitzer deals, and this is up and in. So the tying runs aboard for Georgia on 4 pitches.
And every hitter, leadoff hitter for Georgia that has got him on base has scored this afternoon.
It happened in the first, again in the second, again in the third, the fourth, and the fifth. Last few innings, Georgia had been unable to get the leadoff man aboard. And really, for the first time all weekend, the Georgia offense been quiet the last 3 innings. Just 1 run in them. But Ishikawa on here for Ryan Wynn. And there's that right-on-right slider back to work from Pitzer. Ryan Wynn today, an RBI ground out in the first. And ground out in the second. Strikeout in the fourth. Pop to first in the 7th. For the Wofford transfer. A roller past the mound. Fry gobbles it up and throws out Wynn. And that was pretty smart for Pitzer letting that go.
Yeah, smart job. And at least Georgia gets to move that runner over to second and put himself in scoring position.
You got Hudson coming to the plate, too. He's had a really good day. A 2-for-4 day, a homer, and a single as well.
Wes Johnson will take an offensive timeout. Brennan Hudson, you mentioned leadoff tank in the third.
Yeah, this was the 3rd inning, and I loved how he went up top shelf for the ball. It wasn't even a strike, and he just flattened it out, threw it out of the ballpark. That was his 21st long ball of the year. Man, what a game. What a ball game.
Something's going to have to give. Brennan Hudson absolutely mashes right-handed pitching. But then again, the man on the mound, he absolutely crushes left-handed hitting. 107 clip coming into this game, and the most important part, 37% of the hitters, left-handed hitters, have struck out against him this season.
And the maroon and white rocking in Athens. Tying run at second with 1 out. First pitch, mighty cut from Brennan Hudson. Brennan Hudson has faced Tyler Pitzer twice this year. He walked against him in Hoover a couple of weeks ago in the SEC tournament. Saw him a few months ago in Starkville and struck out swinging. Oh, 1. Wow, what a block by Maluski. Big time.
Gets killed it right there in front of home plate.
The 1-1. Hudson went around. 1-2.
Continues to go to that slider. Tight spin, late break.
Tyler Pitzer's 1-2. On the ground, sharply, into right center field, a base hit. Brennan Hudson delivers. Tied again.
This keeps going on. I might have to just switch over to Spanish.
Well, Brennan Hudson was only hitting 220, folks, this year with runners in scoring position. 220. And that's a bigger knock than he'll ever get right there.
And
this is what you call beating the ship right here. Just sticks his nose on a backdoor breaking ball and gets it through the infield. And guess what? Here in Athens, folks, we are all square again. You don't think this crowd and this team is fired up?
There are those who love college baseball and those who just don't know they do quite yet. 9-9, ninth inning. What a weekend in Athens. And here comes the senior leader. They call Colby Branch either the captain or the sheriff, a guy who gets emotional when you talk to him about Georgia's place in college baseball. He's homered twice already today. First pitch, and he spits on the slider from Tyler Pitzer. Two home runs, a walk, and a double for Branch.
And we got to visit with Branch the other day, and you mentioned it earlier, Mikey. He got all teary-eyed. It was almost like he was going to will this Georgia team to Omaha.
Backside on a line. Jacob Parker retreats, and he's there for out number 2. Now for Tyler Pitzer. 1 out away from getting to the bottom of the 9th inning when Mississippi State will have 6, 7, and 8.
It is June 7th, by the way.
6-7, Eduardo Perez. Okay, here's Ryan Black in the 9th spot. A walk, 2 strikeouts, and a fly out to center. Senior right fielder, very good back to ball. With Hudson at first. Back foot, ball 1 from Pitzer.
And Hudson not likely to run over at first base. He does not have a stolen base this year.
No, but he has to be aware of that slider in the dirt, just in case it's not being able to be blocked. Did a good secondary.
1-1. Brian O'Connor, for his part, for Mississippi State. He talked post-game yesterday about how the bullpen for the Bulldogs could maybe give you 1 inning. They didn't have anyone who could do it for 2 innings. They got a big lift from Duke Stone, carrying the bulk in relief today, and now trying to get 2 innings out of Tyler Pitzer. The 1-1. Nearly hit Ryan Black, 2-1. Wes Johnson in year 3, trying to get this program to Omaha. And if Ryan Black can extend it, look who's next. Trey Phelps, the star third baseman. Up and in, 3-1.
Ryan Black doing exactly what he needs to do. Trying to get on base and get the go-ahead run in the scoring position and get Trey Phelps to the plate.
3-1 slider.
Absolutely, you have to lose with it.
He does to get it full.
You go 3-2 again, and not necessarily it has to be a strike. You can go after the chase right here. It's been his money pitch the entire time against left-handed hitters.
3-2. Swing and a miss! Tyler Pitzer leans on that slider and sends us to the bottom of the ninth inning. Bottom of the ninth inning in Game 2 of the Athens Super Regional that has been flat out, no other way to say it than bonkers. 20 home runs.
This is tough right here. This is like we talked about. This isn't runs. This is points going on the scoreboard right here.
Next up is the Georgia right-hander, guy who's been putting out fires this season, the redshirt junior Justin Bird, who always wanted to pitch for the Dogs.
Yeah, he threw 20 pitches yesterday, did Justin Bird, and now he is making his 25th appearance of the year. He can really strike you out. 70 strikeouts in 55 innings. Opponents hitting just 204 off the right-hander, Bird. Fastball's a good one. It's going to average right at 95. Got a little slider and a changeup to go with it.
First pitch strike rate right over 70%. That's the one thing he's going to need to be able to keep this Mississippi State offense off balance.
He loves his fastball. 53% of the time, then there's a slider and then the changeup after that.
Mississippi State trying to walk it off in Athens. Reed Stallman. Ball one outside on 95 from Justin Bird. Stallman a fly out to center, a strikeout swinging, a smoked single, and an infield single. His last two trips. Popped up at Colby Branch, one away. Well, we said coming on the air today that the best game of Super Regional Weekend was here game one yesterday. The two best games of Super Regional Weekend, they're right here in Athens.
And we've had the pleasure of being able to sit here and watch it.
And I have a feeling if we go to a game 3, it might be the best game tomorrow too.
This has been incredible. One away, Ryder Woodson. 3 strikeouts his first 3 times, and then he hit a roller at short at Colby Branch. And an error on this Georgia defense.
Got to be careful with Woodson. Loves the pitch in.
Everything away from the Georgia pitchers pretty much all day.
All day. Fastball command for Bird inside on righties is really good. But you pitch to the scouting report and it says stay away off Woodson.
0-2. That's a good take. I mean, it's just been so high level. Even the takes have been incredible.
These two offenses are special. I'm talking about special.
Two of the 8 best offenses in the entire sport. 1-2. Woodson floats this one down the line in right. Black and Hudson, long way to go, and Hudson almost got there. Brian O'Connor really likes Ryder Woodson. They grabbed him in the portal because of the projectability. Long levers. They just thought he needed to get stronger and just play after he didn't a whole lot last year at NC State, where he only started 5 games. They went away from him down the stretch in the season. They gave him some breathers. Brian O'Connor said to us, we let him catch his breath. Told him why they were doing it. It's paying off recently. And he takes outside 2-2. Birds 2-2. Woodson on a line, down the line in right, toward the pole. It is foul. Whoa.
Better get something to the inside part of the plate. They start taking swings like that on balls on the outside part, you can't cover the inside.
You at least have to show them in.
And that's really been the knock in this series for a lot of the pitchers. They have not used the inside part of the plate a lot.
But to their defense, the pitch calling is coming from the dugout.
Sure. And I get it, it's aluminum bats, but there's a lot of outs on the inside part of the plate if you have the confidence and the command to get the ball there.
The first out of this inning was a jam shot on the inside part of the plate.
And how many balls have you seen purposely go today to the inside, or yesterday to the inside part? Not many.
2-2 again.
There it is. A little softer, though, just taking some off. Still, nothing like a fastball hard in. If I'm not mistaken, I had a colleague of mine tell me a story about Rick Sutcliffe meeting him at the top step of the dugout in Baltimore.
Yeah, that's a true story. Rick Sutcliffe grabbed me after one start my first year and said, do you want to be a nice guy or do you want to win games at the big league level? And that was the conversation.
2-2. That's down, full count.
You are a nice guy.
And then what he meant was you got to start using the inside part of the plate. So what he said was for the next 5 starts, somebody on the other team, I'm telling you to hit them, but you got to move their feet. And he said, if you don't do it, I'm going to be on the top step waiting for you. Ooh. And sure enough, it changed the game.
9th pitch. Tried to get in. Woodson hits it to short. Branch collects. 2 down.
A lot of outs on the inside part if you can get it there.
Well, 2 outs. Bottom of the 9th inning in the 9-9 game. And here's Kevin Milewski, who had a 2-run pump back in the second.
On a 1-2 pitch up, stayed up, and he was able to stay back. Bottom half, strong, top half, said bye-bye to the baseball, meeting it
2
with the barrel.
homers yesterday, 1 homer today for Milewski. Does he have 1 more left inning to force a game 3?
Fastball kept climbing up. Mississippi State has 1 walk-off win this season, back in April against LSU.
So it's nice and warm here. He's cramping up a little bit on his legs, just stretching that left hamstring a little bit right after the swing, not once but twice.
Woo. Another fastball up in the zone.
That was kind of my best against yours, the old cross-seamer. Right at the top of the zone.
Crowd to its feet in Athens. Justin Bird's 0-2.
Gotta be careful with that slider. A little bit, maybe a couple inches more in. That could have changed the score here. We would be playing baseball tomorrow.
Nowhere to miss, right? 0-2, you got to know where to miss.
Stay up with the heat.
Oh, 2 again. Milewski with great takes his last 3 trips to the plate.
And Jackson wanted that pitch down. He even pointed down once it got set in the position.
Saw Daniel Jackson do that yesterday with the starter Joey Volchko.
See if he goes back with that elevated full-seamer here.
Justin Bird's 1-2 to Milewski. Chopper to the mound. Bird, nifty work. Inning over. We're going to extras in Athens, and Trey Phelps will lead it off for Georgia when we come back. Bud and Bruins, this is fantastic baseball, and yeah, why not go to extras? Trey Phelps was trying to give Georgia the lead on the first pitch in the 10th. Kevin Milewski with room, and it lands right on the top step of Georgia's dugout. Spinning back toward the field of play.
And I'll say this, though. Ace Reese was actually looking at Kevin Milewski. I thought he had an opportunity to be able to catch that ball.
Well, it'd be an easier play for him coming in, for sure. That ball just kept spinning back.
That's where I would be all panicked.
How about a little bonus baseball, folks? How about that?
We got it, and Georgia has its top of the order. Trey Phelps back from the Game 1 suspension for the ejection last Sunday by NCAA rule. Big cut, 0-2 against Tyler Pitzer in his 3rd inning.
And this is where you cannot try to be the hero. Just hit the ball hard on a line, not try to be lifting it and looking for that home run to give you the lead. That's where the swings and misses come into play.
Heater up and in, slider away.
Ace Reese kicks it on the backhand.
First step is the important one. Ball hits dirt, and he's going after it right here. It just hits him right on the heel.
Yep.
And then he starts feeling a little bit of that calf area.
I mean, he played it right. I mean, you don't want that ball to bounce again. Came in to get it. And it hit right and rattled in the heel of the glove. And a good start for Georgia here in the top of the 10th.
And now Daniel Jackson, maybe the best player in the country. SEC Player of the Year. Super talented athletic catcher. Has gone 30-25 and trying to be the second player ever to go 30-30. Infield single in this game. Really hard contact into outs. And a walk last time against Pitzer in the 8th inning. Launched to left! Jackson! Goodbye!
Well, it's the time of the year when you want your stars to show up. And Daniel Jackson, in my opinion, is going to win the Golden Spikes Award. His 31st lone ball of the season. His 86th RBI. And Georgia back on top after a hanging breaking ball. And he knew it when he touched it. That Georgia had the lead on that one swing right there.
Look at Wes Johnson. He came all the way out of the dugout to make sure it stayed fair. Trying to will a baseball from Athens, Georgia to Omaha, Nebraska.
Pitch hung, stayed up. Second time around when you see the same arm, advantage goes to the hitter.
Rylan Lujo pops this one up into short right. Jacob Parker for the first down.
What an environment. Coming in, you're playing at home as the visiting team. And they have fed off this place for the last 2 days.
A program that has been so close the last couple of years. Last year in a regional, they lost the 1-0 game against Duke. And then Sunday they came back, they lost to Oklahoma State. 2 years ago in a super, knocked out in game 3 here at home. They hope that this year is different. Drink this in. This is college baseball at its best. It's Daniel Jackson, who the coaches told us has been really hard on himself. Last year that was the case. This year they said it's a little more best friend and not worst enemy. Right now, he is everyone in Athens' best friend supporting this Georgia program. 11-9 is the Georgia lead in the 10th, and Maddox Miller comes on for Mississippi State against Michael O'Shaughnessy. It's a big-time arm.
Yeah, for a freshman, a big-time arm is right. Fastball could have ticked up to 97, 98. He'll sit right on that 95, 96 mark. He's had a good year, man. 2.52 ERA. How about 40 punch-outs in just 25 innings of work?
O'Shaughnessy into the shift and past the dive of Garrick Fry. One out base hit as Georgia wants more.
And they know and they understand they're going to need more because the top of the order is coming up for Mississippi State after chance.
How many would it take you to feel comfortable?
Here?
Yeah.
8.
An 8 spot, huh? Okay.
This ballpark is some kind of special combined with the offense of both teams.
Ty Peoples will run for Michael O'Shaughnessy. Sinning is gone. Error, 2-run homer, fly out, single. And now Kenny Ishikawa left on left against the wiry freshman from Hattiesburg, Mississippi. It was a big-time get-to-campus type of freshman, and Maddox Miller has the best swing and miss rate of any pitcher Mississippi State has.
And it's against right-handed hitters that he has that Bugs Bunny changeup that's the equalizer. He's developing that slider as we speak.
94 to start out with strike one to Kenny Ishikawa. Game one yesterday, 3 hours and 43 minutes. Game two today, 3 hours and 56 minutes and counting of sterling, gripping, drama-dripping baseball.
Pitch runner, Peoples over at first base. 3 for 3 in stolen bases.
Maddox Miller, son of Matt Miller, former major leaguer for the Colorado Rockies and the then Cleveland Indians.
Yeah, he will sidearm. There's the breaking ball that he said he's been working on. A ball and a strike. Just a tension-filled weekend. The lead at 2 for Georgia. The 1-1. That's a strike, top of the zone, 1-2. It's one of those in the big leagues we've seen called a strike more as they have ABS. Breaking balls, top of the zone. That's one of the byproducts we've seen of ABS at the major league level. Of course, don't have it here in the college game. They had it on a trial basis, used it at the SEC tournament in Hoover a few weeks ago. The 1-2. Ishikawa nearly pulled the trigger, and this guy slams on the brakes with every fiber of his body. And smiles about it.
Having some fun.
A lot of movement in the box, but it works for him.
2-2. Low roller ended the bat at short. Ryder Woodson to flip to Fry in time to get the force on Michael O'Shaughnessy for out number 2.
Yeah, those are the ones that you get the out and you just don't throw the ball. You have to know the speed of the runner of Ishikawa. No harm there. Good throw, but sometimes a slow roller, no need to even try to get him at first.
So they get Peoples. Ishikawa's on. And here's Ryan Wynn. 0 for 5, but had the RBI ground out in the first when Georgia jumped out to a 2-0 lead.
There's that changeup. It's a good one.
When you look into Georgia's bullpen, you see that. So Justin Bird, as expected, will be out for the bottom of the 10th against 9-1 and 2. Boy, when the pitch is released, you could hear a pin drop in this ballpark.
That's a really good changeup right there.
Augusta just a couple hours away, right?
Just like it. All eyes in Athens.
Is that bark coming from what side?
Dogs against dogs. Maddox Miller's 0-2. Wind doesn't chase up.
I love that pitch right there. 95 miles per hour up, setting up again the changeup that he's already thrown twice to Ryan Wynn.
And it just feels like Ishikawa's going to run.
Up the ladder, just missed.
Doubled up
2-2.
on it.
And now you got to figure it's coming.
And now Ishikawa should be going right here.
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of surprised he hadn't tried to take an extra 90 here.
All he has to do, he's got big feet, long extremities. You have to look at that front toe. Not from the right foot, but the left foot.
Doesn't go. Wind doesn't chase. Full count.
He'll be going now for sure.
Time to go with the changeup. You have to go with your best pitch here, 3-2.
freshman Maddox Miller. His payoff. Hit in the air. Center field at Bryce Chance. Inning over. But Daniel Jackson has a Golden Spikes Award moment here in Game 2 in Athens. And now Georgia is 3 outs away from a trip to Omaha for the first time since 2008. Back in Athens, bottom of the 10th inning, and Mississippi State has 3 outs left to play with in its season. Down by 2 after Daniel Jackson's home run in the top half of the 10th. And it's 9-1-2 for State, starting with Bryce Chance against Justin Bird.
The first out. The first out here is going to be huge. You get the first batter.
First pitch is up high to Bryce Chance. His parents went to Mississippi State. Always wanted to play for State. They had football season tickets growing up. They had a custom-made Tyson Lee jersey. This kid bleeds maroon and white, and he helped put this team together in the offseason. When the new coaching staff came in, they were bringing in guys in the portal, and Bryce Chance was part of every meal. Brian O'Connor said he was at every one of those in the transfer process, trying to build a team for his final season. 3-0.
And you got to take 2 here. Guy that is consistent, putting the ball in play. Really good bat-to-ball skill. Need base runners right now, especially at the top of the order coming up.
Middle at 95, 3-1. Take another, you say?
I would.
Chases
ball
right 4.
That was it right there. This run does not mean much. And it's to the point that you have to put pressure and walks hot pitchers on the mound.
Nobody swings and misses less in the SEC than Bryce Chance.
And that's why.
Georgia's pitching's been so good today, not allowing 3 passes. Only 1 total walk to go with 12 strikeouts.
3-2. Inside, and Chance is on as the lineup turns over, and Mississippi State brings the tying run to the plate.
One thing Justin Bird did not want to do is issue a 3 pass.
Paul Farley on the right. The low slot joker Grant Edwards on the left. Bird pitching on back-to-back days for only the 2nd time this season. Made 3 appearances over 2 days in late April at Ole Miss. Doubleheader, and then came back the next day.
The one thing that Garrett Fry has done the entire season is be aggressive on the first pitch. 39.5% swing rate. And that's held true here this afternoon. He's 0 for 5, and he's looking to make it 1 for 6.
Fry's 1 for 11 in the Super. Solo home run yesterday in the 6th. He homered off Bird earlier this season. First pitch in the air to left. Ishikawa toward the line. 1 away. And now Ace Reese is coming up. And this is a first rounder, a flat out superstar, and a guy who looks totally locked in.
Yeah, I tell you what, he leads the SEC in extra base hits. And when he hit that one, that was a moon ball, folks.
Well, look for them to get himself out on pitches away. Don't see and anticipate right now any pitch being thrown middle in with the way he can control that barrel.
In the company of greatness, Brian O'Connor told us, hands down, one of the 3 best hitters he's ever coached. First pitch, tried to tie it.
Right, indeed, as I said.
Spanish out for Eddie because it's been that wacky this weekend.
And that's where you want to attack him, too, because it's a bottom-to-top kind of swing, and that 4-seam fastball plays well at the top of the zone. The problem with it is you better get it there. You better get it there.
Reese doubled off Bird yesterday. Takes down a ball and a strike.
Left-handed hitter, a little surprised they're holding Chance on at first base right now. Too big of a hole in that 3-4 spot.
3 hits today, all to the pull side for Ace Reese. 1-1. Ace pops it foul, and now it's 1-2.
Playing that north to south game with him right now. Elevated fastball, sliders down.
Inside, 2-2 on Ace Reese. Bird deals. Strikes him out. 2 gone.
Made him chase.
That's what you call good old-fashioned country hardball right there. I'm going to grab my best pitch, my 4-seam fastball, and I'm going to see if you can do anything with it. He just grips it and rips it and gets it right by the All-American. And Georgia just 1 out of way and going to Omaha.
You talk about that elevated fastball right there. It seemed to work throughout that at-bat.
It's up to Noah Sullivan for Mississippi State. He has doubled and homered today. Hard contact all over the place, and he walked against Bird when they squared off yesterday. One-0 pitch. Twist outside, 2-0.
Gotta be careful here now. 2-0. Noah Sullivan crushing baseballs, especially with Jacob Parker on deck.
Fabulous freshman who has homered each of his last 2 trips. Soars. 3-0, and strike throwing typically not a problem for Bird. Problematic here.
I give him the green light here. 3-0. Trusting my 3-hole hitter. Trusting my DH.
Season on the line. Green light.
Absolutely.
Bird deals. And that's down. And the tying run's aboard. And the winning run comes to the plate with maybe the hottest bat in America right now.
And what a bat it is. Kid that has grown the entire season coming into fall ball. Not a lot of plate discipline, not a lot of pitch recognition. And we've seen the development from day one to what it is right now with the season on the line.
Mississippi State will not go away. Jacob Parker came up in the 7th. He went 445 to the backside with a bat flip that will be legendary in Starkville. And then a 2-run blast, 431 to center in the 8th inning.
I love how he hit that second one. He had the biggest grin on his face, and why not? The freshman, 18 long balls on the year, 62 RBIs.
He's taking it all in. Right now, it is not speeding up on him at all.
He is just as relaxed as you can be, it looks like.
We chatted pregame with the Hall of Famer Ron Polk here with Mississippi State. He told us when you talk to Jacob Parker, it's like you're talking to a 30-year-old. The bat is special. It's a lightning bat, yes. But the person they all rave about, and it seems like he craves this moment.
Everything about him is advanced.
First pitch, down, ball 1 from Bird. This kid made it to campus through the draft. Had chances in the 2nd and 3rd round. Twin brother was the 8th overall pick of the Blue Jays. Parker took a mighty cut on the 1-0. The 1-1. Fouled away, and Georgia is one strike away from Omaha.
And he'd have a very good cut at that elevated fastball. And if I'm seeing that in reading bats, I'm going right back up there again with that four-seam fastball.
And that's been his Achilles heel, the elevated fastball.
Now, you better not miss. You got to know where to miss here. But you want to get this ball just about letter high, right over the heart of the plate, and see if you can get a swing and a miss.
1-2. Swing and a miss! Georgia's headed back to the College World Series! Moment 18 years in the making. Georgia is headed back to Omaha.
How about Justin Bird, too? The only Georgia pitcher today did not give up a run. He goes 2 shutout innings, a couple of walks, and a couple of strikeouts, and he went right through the heart of this Mississippi State lineup here in the 10th inning. And this is that good elevated four-seam fastball we talked about, and the party is on in Athens.
Today's Capital One rewarding performance. It's the big swing. Maybe the signature moment in a Golden Spikes Award season for Daniel Jackson.
Yeah, the competition is over for me for the Golden Spikes Award. When you start doing things never done before, and that's what Daniel Jackson is doing for a catcher, it's over. And this ball game is over too, and it was Daniel Jackson, a hanging breaking ball, his 31st long ball of the year, and the Georgia Bulldogs headed back to Omaha.
And rightfully so, carrying that trophy right now as they will represent from the Athens Regional in the College World Series. Jackson just absolutely mashing with a chip on his shoulder. Beautifully done.
And a tip of the cap to Mississippi State as well. They had a heck of a year. Hate to see anybody lose this series, but I tell you what, Georgia was just a little bit better.
Incredible. 2 fabulous baseball games in 3 years in the making for Wes Johnson. He has this program back